Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.
Do you know what day it is today?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Wednesday. Wednesday. Wednesday.
Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not. Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not. Oh well. Whatever issues you have with the DJI system, you can expect to have the same issues. Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not. Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not. Oh well. Maybe it's Boxnet, maybe it's Avatar, maybe it's Avatar. You don't know. Maybe it's Boxnet, maybe it's Avatar, maybe it's Avatar. You don't get to know. Maybe it's Fat Shark. DJI's community driven. Don't get to know everything you want to know when you want to know. You guys don't get to know. That's life, dude. That's life, dude. It's tough, dude. You don't get to know everything you want to know. You aren't part of this organization. Community driven. You guys don't know everything. We will tell you everything. Community driven. No. Bardwell. It's coming. Sit tight.
You have to be so on top of the world right now.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, it's you work a long time, work a long time. I thought it was actually fantastic that DJI released a pair of goggles that was we wouldn't have these systems if it wasn't for DJI. We wouldn't have vision if it wasn't for DJI. We wouldn't have these systems very close to what my vision was.
Nobody can dispute that.
I have the vision clarity. We wouldn't have their engineering if it wasn't for we wouldn't have good pair of goggles.
Nobody can dispute that.
HDZERO was an amazing system, but I love DJI. HDZERO was low latency, but I've come to appreciate link quality. Work a long time.
When digital came out, it felt like Fat Shark struggled a little bit to find its footing.
Avatar. Boxnet.
If it wasn't for
Avatar. Boxnet.
we wouldn't have good pair of goggles.
Nobody can dispute that.
I thought it was actually fantastic that DJI released a pair of goggles that was
Snail.
Snail?
Thumbs up. Ready, go. Oh my god, he just ran in. Woohoo! Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh shit, it's gonna be one of those nights I can feel it. What's up, y'all? Welcome to tonight's B2P. What's happening? Before we get started, well, shout out the one and only Rat RH, our pilot of the week this week. Let's go! Ooh, what else we got? We got, oh man, happy birthday to Blackbird FPV. Happy birthday to Print Lab, one of my favorite people in the world. Print Lab FPV, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, homie.
Shout out to the one and only Waldo for the Game of Quad recap. Let's go. And last but not least, fucking applause. Do I have applause?
I don't think so.
I do. RISKO! Let's go! Oh, shit. So there we go, man. That was fucking awesome. Man, what a statement, right? What is up, y'all? Welcome to this week's B2P and the Great Goggle debacle.
Bam!
Bam! What's good, chat? How you guys doing?
Going on, everyone?
What up, fam?
So, wow. Just wow. Some things
What a week, man.
you don't get to know.
Some things, bro. You are not
Things you just
a
can't
part of that organization.
Who are you to know?
I don't know what happened. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I'm clueless. I've been stuck. I've been stuck on the rock.
Got to be purple to know. Perps only.
Perps only.
Yeah, perps only.
Oh yeah, shit. And and Waldo's shout out Sean Connery. Happy birthday, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery's birthday.
And the legend, Sean Connery. Damn it, I don't give a damn, Scarlett. That's Sean Connery impersonation. The name is Bond.
What?
James Bond. I can't. All there was no good.
Hold on. Do that one more time. Just for funsies.
I fucked it up. I put
Yes.
Casa Casablanca in there for some retarded reason. I don't know why.
Perfect.
Damn it, Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
What?
We have
Cementkidd in the house. What's up, Cementkidd?
Man.
What up, dude?
Where you at?
Florida, that freaking croc
He's
word.
down there in flip-flop land.
Oh,
No,
shit.
he comes from New York. He has to migrate to flip flops. He's wearing Crocs first for protection.
Whatever.
Crocs and flip-flops.
Whatever they said,
Nothing
if
wrong
it's
with it.
bad, it's a lie. If it's good, go with that.
What?
I don't know. I'm just reading Forevermore's comment.
Forevermore in the house. What up, homie?
Whatever he's smoking,
Wolf
pass
pack.
it on.
What?
Oof.
Yeah.
Story
Oof.
time?
Story time.
You got a story? Wait, but Dan, that's fucked up now. It's Cement.
Yeah,
because
Cement,
you said
come tell us a story, bro.
Yeah,
Where you
because
at?
he knows a guy, but he's in Florida. Does he know a guy or?
Here, I'll send him the invite just in case. Come tell us a story, Cement. Wow.
He knows a guy that can make some gator shoes.
He
Gator
knows a guy that
gator
can make
purse,
some
gator
goggles.
wallets.
Yeah. You got a guy who can
You got a guy, man. We need to.
No guy?
we
Guy
sort
who
of-
already made some goggles.
He's got a
No
guy
guy.
that can make some goggles, bro.
So
He's coming. Woohoo!
Y'all got any more of them goggles?
You guys got any more of them HD goggles?
He looks at the goggles.
No
Also,
worries,
those are the goggles
mate.
you like. He's the goggles you like. He
All right,
goes, yeah.
prepare for the whole
Can you
show to
him?
get
He's
train
like, yeah.
wrecked. Cementkid's coming. It's like a
Let's
it's like
go.
a wrecking ball. I love it. It's
Somebody
amazing.
asked
how's
him,
everybody's
"Can you
week
get goggles?"
been?
Look at
Pretty good.
Before we get into it.
Patch antennas.
Pretty good.
Good
I
here.
got some flying at our new spot on Sunday, and we got a little late than normal. Getting soft targets all over the place, but knowing that someone's around the corner, there was park rangers there. They just looked at us and said, "Enjoy your flight." And we was
bye.
like, bye. We just kept on
Yeah, I got a
flying.
bunch of
but
flying in this week. I got another quad finally put together and on this 35 amp FETEC all-in-one. For fuck's sake, I just threw it on a 5-inch. Had some video issues that Chad graciously helped me out with. And,
I was like, you're fucking building it wrong, dude. Would you just fix it?
sorry for following wiring diagram. I'm so.
Did he go like this? Or did
Nah,
he
yeah,
help
we
you
got it
and
sorted
helped
out.
you?
We got it sorted out.
Yeah,
Or he helped both of them and then
kind of. And then,
Yep.
and then I was off.
He was off to the races.
Yep.
Didn't he was off.
With clean,
My 5 inches jacked.
clean video.
You can see this on their OnlyFans.
Flew very good today.
Only
It was,
ducks.
I was actually pretty impressed with how well it performed on a 5-inch. I don't know. I kind of
That's what she said.
It would only use one arm, like a whoop or something.
Oh!
Hey.
She said that. Did you say that?
Boys, you're all in luck.
Yeah, we'll find out, dude, because I ordered a couple of those things.
I think you'll be happy. Just do like I did if you're using an analog. Just wire right from the cam to the VTX.
Yeah. Got you.
What else? Packs in. What about you, Pearl? Did you get your packs in?
I got liftoff in. My 5 inches jacked, man. When I was in
stick time is
Chattanooga
stick
last
time.
time, I yeeted straight into a telephone pole, and my video's been messed up ever since. I think my cap got blown, or my VTX is just messed up. Every time I throttle, it's like my VTX just loses power. It changes channels and goes completely dark.
Yeah.
I've never seen a VTX just randomly change channels when you throttle up like that and lose power. Like so that's why I think it's like it's browning out or something.
Yeah.
Brown out is a good possibility. Yeah. How's it?
That or my packs are just jacked because all of my packs are like they'll start off 16,
just drop like a rock.
They just drop like a rock the minute they're like.
How long you had the packs?
About 2 years.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, bro. I've like no 5-inch packs at all right now. It sucks. But I haven't been flying. Dude, I'm balls deep in the DaVinci fucking certification courses, man. I'm on week 2, and my goal is to try to do 5 weeks. I don't know if there'll be continuous weeks, but there's 5 weeks of classes that I'd like to get certified for. I'm almost done with week 2, and if anything, I'd like to do a bare minimum of 2 more weeks, which I want to do the color certification and the fusion effects certification. But I've got my editing certification, and I'm doing the intro certification they call it right now, which like I know a good amount about DaVinci, and I've been learning so much shit in the intro class. It's awesome. It's actually really dope to know, like, have a good grasp of stuff, and then learn all the little things that like fill in the blanks, bro. It's fucking dope. So like it's been a good thing, but it's I'm getting up every day, having coffee, chill out, and then 4 hours of class, and then yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Proud of you. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of 2 weeks in, how many shows is this now, smoke free?
I've not had a cigarette in 6 shows, and so what is that, 6.5 weeks? Because I quit smoking the meeting before the show, the first non-smoking show. I stopped smoking that night, and then
we need an applause MP3.
I got it. I can give myself an applause.
Give a round of applause, guys.
There it is. Around.
Oh man, what?
Nice. I got some packs in this week, and broken arm finally. That was fucking fun. I hadn't smashed a quad like real solid smash. I was a goat. I hadn't broken an arm on a goat yet. That was the first one. But I mean, I fucking I've got these big kind of mature trees at the beginning of my driveway. I'm kind of set back off the road. Came over to this shit, big split S over these trees into my driveway, and just smacked the tree. Dude, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Nice.
So that was fun, and the arm was the only thing that fucked up. So I got lucky.
Easy fix.
Joe Enjoy quit in February. Good shit, bro.
Dude.
Joe Stan also.
I mean, that's still up.
I was gonna ask. I was asking the same thing.
Jerry is probably still out.
That sounds like a split J to me. Yeah.
I mean,
Pop out of it. You gotta come up, pop over the shit.
I don't think he went over the shit.
Yeah, I went over the shit.
And then you roll.
I mean,
some part of that equation was missing in your execution.
Wait, he killed somebody? What? Execution?
No, be the fifth. Be the fifth.
The execution.
Yeah, dude, I got that Hero 10 mount. Shout out to Waldo for some fucking 3D prints for I put on the antenna mount and the Hero 10 mount.
Right on.
And they are wonderful, especially the antenna mount. So preach, homie. Hey, y'all send some love out to Waldo and his cat.
Who the fuck is Waldo? I don't know that guy. I haven't found him.
Bubble Cat, dude. Bubble Cat is amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Hope things are going well there, homie.
Can you get him? Might not be
He's
totally.
got 8 lives
like
left.
there's part of me is
all
like,
right.
can you get him a big fuck off hamster wheel and just let him fucking rip across the park? You know, like it'd be dope if there was like some way you could like confine, you know, like contain it, like or like it'd be dope to have like a hamster wheel that was like had a like you know GPS. You could only go so far. It would be so.
Like one of the balls,
we should
like
invent
one of the
that.
clear plastic
Like a
balls.
fucking hamster wheel. Let the fucking cat run around in it, dude.
Should you imagine like everybody in the neighborhood had that for their cat, and you just see a bunch of
fucking balls running around.
Oh, the madness, bro. I remember I used to have a hamster, and I had those hamster balls.
The hamster ball, yeah.
You know, I used to let them out, you know, have them do their thing because I don't want them to get lost or get stuck under the fucking couch and go to sleep, which happened a few times, and I had to take the couch apart to find them. So one day I let them out, and I totally forgot they were rolling around, and I'm walking past the hallway, and they just come, I don't know, they were just booking through the kitchen, and they walk right in my path, and I kick the hamster straight across the hallway all by accident. I'm running, this fucking ball's just flying. I'm like, my hamster! I took him out, you see him going, because he was dizzy.
I bet.
I put him on the floor, he's like this.
Just mildly concussed.
Yeah.
He didn't know what the fuck he was at, bro. He thought he was a snake.
I've seen some
Have
of
y'all
that
done
carnage.
that shit before?
I've
Have y'all
seen-
done a lot of that? Like
I've seen
fucking kicking poor little fucking innocent hamsters across fucking
dude, you ever,
rooms?
bro? Yeah, everybody owns a hamster. That hamster's gonna. If you have stairs in your house, those hamsters are gonna find it someday. Even if you block, like, you know what I mean. It just seems like a fact of life. So like, my sisters had hamsters. I had hamsters coming up, and those fucking hamsters always managed to get themselves in a situation where they ended up kind of shell shocked. You know what I mean? Because they would do something fucking crazy. But yeah. Anyways, enough about hamsters. Fucking hell.
For now, anyhow.
Anyways, yes.
Lemmings.
Lemmywinks.
Lemmywinks.
So what about gerbils?
That's what.
Yes.
This is an intense conversation for Chip.
We're not going down there right there. We're not literally.
We don't need any of those bots.
We don't need any of those bots in the chat today. Yeah.
I know, right?
Here they come.
Fucking hell. All right, wait. What time is it? How long does it take? How long has it taken for us to devolve into shenanigans?
I think we just did.
Yep.
10 minutes.
It's 5 minutes.
10 minutes. 5 minutes.
Dude, I just want to put something out there. I want to touch back on my last two.
He wants to
2
touch
weeks.
back on the gerbils.
Yes, the gerbils.
Wow.
If y'all
go for it.
No, listen to me seriously. Like, if y'all fucking ever want to learn fucking how to edit, like fucking learn DaVinci, learn take the classes. They're fucking killer. They're free. They're fucking killer. And I highly recommend, if you're into, like, want to learn how to edit or learn DaVinci, fucking do that shit, because it's fucking amazing for what it is.
Let's fucking go.
This fucking guy.
Man, what's up, brother?
What up, Cement?
Can you hear us?
Gerbil bots.
There he is.
You don't look the same without your hat on backwards.
I know, right?
Dude? It's like a totally different kid.
He leaves New York. He forgot about the
Yeah.
Yankees. Wearing Dolphins hat now.
What's up, boys?
What's going on,
Hold
homie?
on, bro.
Chilling. You guys are very delayed right now.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Delayed?
Oh, man. I left the hat in New York.
You left it
Okay,
in your
you
FPV bag,
can
didn't
put your
you?
Miami Dolphins hat on if you want.
What's up?
Nothing, brother. How are you doing, man?
Hold on.
Are you watching TV? What the fuck?
Watching TV?
Watching Matlock.
What's up, Doom Rider?
Yeah, I'm extremely delayed. I gotta figure this out.
Right. Technical difficulties. Just call your guy.
All we hear is your TV.
Yeah,
no, I'm not watching TV. And when you hear me respond to this, you're gonna realize how delayed I am.
No, you were right on time.
You're not delayed to us.
You on time.
Hear you.
We hear you real time on the Zoom.
Are you listening to the stream?
Yeah, you can't listen to the stream. You gotta.
No, you can't. A 20-second delay.
I'm about to mute his ass.
It's been a long time since he's been on the show. He forgot it all.
He loses his
Doom Rider, what up?
Let me reload this. Yeah, I'm actually oh, maybe that's why.
You're listening to YouTube.
I'm listening to the stream. You're right. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
This guy leaves New York, hits the freaking humidity.
He misses a couple streams, and this is what happens. Look at this bullshit. This motherfucker.
All over again.
I remember when I was new. I remember my first gig. Yeah. Fuck.
All right, guys. This is a one-on-one class of what not to do.
Oh, it's all a mess.
You're a total mess. I'm muting you. Bye.
Bye.
All I can hear is chaos. Oh, for the love of God.
Look at him. Look at him.
All right, so what time is it? All right, stay on target, right? Who invented the new guy? All right.
There's a target?
Yeah, it's an imaginary one, but we try to stay there.
What up, Off Axis, Doom Rider, D3?
Yes, up north, guys. Marcel, Off Axis.
All right, what do we got for news, man? What's going on?
There's nothing, bro. Don't think the news, bro. All right, so I guess fuck it. Game of quads.
Game of quad.
Yeah.
No, we have to wait for Trinity. We have to fucking.
I was gonna say, wait a second now.
Oh yeah.
Where the hell
we need
is
11
my
to come.
phone?
Yeah, she's probably waiting for 11.
Yeah. She won't come in till then.
She's probably on baby duty. Baby.
Baby.
You said baby duty.
Baby duty. Baby duty.
What has happened?
You're not my dad, you big fat
No,
cementkidd.
No.
We went back to second grade.
Listen to the stream.
I don't know what he's doing.
It's definitely better now. Could you guys hear me? Say yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We can hear you. And
Maybe.
All right, no, we're on time. No, it's good. I just heard you respond right away. Yeah, I'm actually so excited right now to be on the stream with you guys.
But yeah, it sounds like you're running a vacuum cleaner and your TV is blasting. That's what it sounds like to us.
Yeah, I get a TV in the background.
What are you? It sounds like you're watching porn. What the fuck?
What are you watching?
Here come the bots.
What are you watching? Oh my God! Here come the bots.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You didn't give a get. God damn it! Fix your shit.
You're watching the wrong video, okay?
I'm glad he shared his camera and not his screen.
Yeah, really? I don't know what was
There's
going on.
so much porn here.
Oh, fucking noobs. I know.
Did
Let me jump in here.
Sound like
left.
you had
Oh, no.
porn in the background.
He'll be back.
No. He'll be back.
Yeah, where are you in Texas right now, Perry Earl?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
Get humble, right?
Katy.
Where the fuck is Katy?
Texas.
It's like 45 minutes west of Houston.
Yeah.
West of
Like,
Houston?
Like due west of Houston. Yeah. In fact, there was some there's a big Houston drone group out here, and they were having a meetup tonight, a night fly, like at 9 o'clock our time. So
the fuck are you doing here?
Your time. And I was like, man, I want to go fly, but I want to be on the stream, and my 5 inches jacked, so I can't fly anyhow. So like,
well, yeah,
that sucks.
That's a damper on
I
flying.
need to
Most
find
definitely.
a new night spot to fly at. The one I have is just so boring now.
Welcome to my world.
yeah.
Thank God I found a new spot.
One of the guys offered. He's like, dude, if it's just your cap that's shot, he's like, I'll bring a cap, and we can, we'll fix you up here in the field if you want to fly. But I think my batteries are toast anyhow. Like they're They're so shot.
May or may not be, but well,
flights. Take your flights.
Is it a fucking HV VTX? What kind of VTX is it?
Yeah, it's the HV. So I'm running off of VBAT off of the FC, and it's been that way since I built the quad like a year and a half ago, and it's been fine. So
yeah, I mean, if your cap gets fucked up, it can start effectively arcing, and that will fucking wreak havoc on your fucking video. Yeah, well. So like,
where do you have the cap on the
that
XC60
would be
or on the flight controller?
It's actually on the 4-in-1 ESC. It's the Hobbywing X rotor, so it came
with a cap
through its own holes. So
we could try doing, because I told this to my friend, you could try, maybe you got a short happen, maybe from the crash wire, maybe because yanking is on his last leg, or each wire, make sure that all the strands are connected, because if you're hanging in by one little strand, not enough current flow, so that can actually cause you to have noise. Check the most unobvious things you could think about. Because I had the same issue with one of my Pro 32s. Everything was 1,000%. Like I checked everything from top to bottom. I even took everything apart and put it back together. I literally soldered everything back on, and I was still having the issue. You know what it was? And Chad mentioned this earlier before the chat, was that JST connector. I don't know how the fuck it just broke, but it was so loose that it was just enough to cause issues. So what I did was I just jammed a piece of fucking PLA that I had a thin slice. I cut it, jammed it in there. Problem went away.
That is a good point. Definitely double check the XT60 pins on your quad, and if you can, check the backside of it, because what will happen is sometimes you'll get a bad solder, or they'll start arcing, and what ultimately the arcing will cause the solder to start to break down, and you can get all sorts of fucking funk happening. But just having, look to what Tech was saying, sticks a pin in there or something to spread them out, make sure they're nice and tight.
Yeah, I did that the other day because they were getting kind of loose, or actually before I went flying in Chattanooga a couple weeks ago, and it made it nice and stiff going.
If you ever suspect that it's been arcing, take the back of the connector off and look at the actual connections back on the backside as well. Just putting it out there, because for me on my 10-inch, dude, there was slag. Like the solder started melting on the backside of the connector, and it was like slag floating around it. It was bad. But
I'm gonna add a PR to that, chat, once you finish your comment.
Trinity lives in Katy, Texas. Does he really? I mean, we probably shouldn't stream that information. I know she lives in Houston. I thought she was closer
Texas
to Houston.
Big.
Waldo, she actually I don't know. Anyways,
yeah, she says she's in Texas.
It's a suburb.
Here's a PR thing for people that use Avonic batteries. I thought it was just a fluke that my friend had, but he went to 3 batteries, and 3 batteries, the XC60, the solder connections that connected just broke off for no reason. He crashed. He went to pick up his quad, plug it in, wouldn't fucking power it up. Went to grab the cable, and it just literally just came apart. So keep your eye on everything across the board, especially batteries. That's my PR for you.
Also, if it's your VTX doing stuff,
PSA.
sometimes those silicone wires, like I've had some that have broken inside the shielding,
inside the shielding,
or are down to 1 or 2 strands, so it starts doing funky shit.
It looks like it's soldered, but it's not. So you move that wire, you see that little fucking piece.
Well, it can happen in the middle of the wires too.
Yeah, I'm just saying in the middle of the wires.
If those wires get,
you can kind of see it a lot of times if it's not completely split. You can still see it kind of stretch funny.
Yeah, if the wire looks like it has stretch marks,
you hold on to it. You hold on, because sometimes you won't see that. You hold on to the wire and you kind of just lightly tug it. If you have some resistance, you're good. If you see the thing just go woo and comes right back, it's not. Yeah, but make sure it's got to go woo, and you got to say the word woo. If you don't say that, you ain't gonna find the problem.
I had it all taken apart last night in the hotel room, and I went ahead and moved the VTX power from the VBAT pads of the FC directly to the solder joints where the XT60 hooks to the ESC, and it didn't make a difference when it was all put back together and the wires were tucked in where they're supposed to be. But when it was laid out and my VTX was like sitting on the table like 4 inches away, it was perfect. So it was like I could tell that it's a power issue, like, you know, inductance from the cap or the XT60
Well, also
wires.
again, check the cable on it as well. If you feel like the cable's effed up, I mean the TBS VTXs have pads. You can solder directly to it though. So if you would just bypass it and just solder directly into the pins and just put a piece of tape over, so from what carbon, you're good to go.
From what you're describing, it sounds like, because like from on my 10s when I get bad caps, I just blow the fucking VTX up, bro. Like half the time they just blow up. I've popped them a couple times when I didn't change caps when they were sus. And so my friend Travis, macro quad guy, he ended up. I was telling Swift Duck the same shit. I test every single cap, but that's why I hate it. And I've complained to Hobby Wing directly.
Howdy, Miss Confusion.
I'm like, don't pre-solder the fucking cap. Because a bunch of us use these on bigger quads, and it's a big pain in the ass to take this fucking cap off. Like, seriously. Yeah. And for me, I personally test every single cap before I install it, because bad caps happen, and Travis had bought a batch from some place at one point, and almost, like, every one of the caps that he'd got was bad. And when he installed it, he had nothing but problems with the quad. And with the macros, they're less forgiving because there's a lot more current going on, So, like, you get bad capacitance in a fucking macro build, and it just fucking goes haywire. And so that's why I taught him how to measure capacitors. And he's like, yeah, I measure every single one now. And like I said, I've complained to Hobby Wing specifically because they install them. Like, they might test them. That might be great, whatever. But I have to change it anyway.
Sure they do.
Yeah, but...
I'm sure it's somewhere in the process they're doing. I'm not saying that they're doing it all steps of the process, but
it's like when you're buying bulk ones, though. Like, definitely be checking your caps. At least check them from time to time. Spot check them. I do it because it's a pain in the ass to take a cap off a build. If it's
Solo wants to know how to test a cap.
Oh, there's two things you should.
Continuity tester, right?
Well, yeah, there's two things that I do personally. The first thing I do is I check it for tone. I'll put the continuity mode in tone mode, and I'll just check it for tone to make sure there is not a short inside. And then the second thing, ideally what you should do is just get a resistor. You don't have to use the resistor, but short it out with a resistor and just drain the capacitor. And then when you put the meter into resistance mode, what happens is the meter is going to supply a bit of power to the cap, and so when you clip it up and you put it in resistance mode, what you should see is the resistance should start very low, and over time it will climb. In many cases, it will climb to infinity, or basically it's open. Like it's just too much resistance for the meter to read anymore. But that's what happens as a cap charges. Its resistance increases, usually in many cases, to a point where you don't even get a reading anymore. But you can observe the phenomena by shorting out the cap and discharging it, and then clipping your leads on it and letting it charge. And that will show you if it's good or not. If it doesn't do that, if you don't get that effect, or you get a tone, it's dead or it's broken. So that's how you test a cap.
Or you
learned it here, folks. Don't forget.
So you want to hear what happened with my audio? I had I got these with Bluetooth, so I had them hooked up to my cell phone.
And
the cell phone was like 15 seconds. I'm like, what's going on? But then once I canceled out of the stream, I was still hearing you guys in the audio. I was like, oh, all right, I'm an idiot.
That's what happens when you try to use...
It had to be something, dude.
You had to use the fancy shit, and there you go.
I just moved, actually. I went from one spot in Florida to another, so all my stuff is all over the place. But good news is I got my computer back, which is great. So that's why I'm on OBS again. But,
what part are you in now?
I'm in Coconut Creek. It's still the East Coast, but
they're a customer of ours. I spend time down there every once in a while. They're in Coral Springs, and I'm supposed to go back down there in like probably a couple of weeks. So
you gotta let me know, bro. Hit me up on Discord. Yeah, man. I'm right on the border of Coconut Creek and Coral Springs, actually.
Perfect. Did you ever get any more gear?
No, and that's why I was so excited to come on the show. And of course, I will let you guys take it over. But I'm very excited about the goggles that are coming out and everything like that, which I'm sure we'll get into. But
what goggles?
What goggles?
Stop. I'm excited, dude. So I'm glad I helped out because I'm definitely going to go for those.
goggles? Is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
those are them.
There's some new boxy shits, man. They're pretty cool.
Pretty cool. A little big, but you know.
You can wear glasses under them, right?
You can
feel comfortable.
You can wear a welding mask under them.
I almost pulled the trigger actually last week, and then I didn't because I just literally didn't get around to it. And then today I stumbled on the video from Bodwell on those goggles that are coming out, and I was like, wow, bro, I am so glad I didn't buy another pair of HDOs.
I've been trying to tell people for a while every week, like
it's common. I remember you told me that too.
Well, I was just saying, don't buy shit right now. Give it a little bit of time because there's gonna be a lot of flux over the next year of fucking goggles. Unless you got money to burn and you're just really hyped and you want to try something. Go for it. But like the reality is I think that the entire HD link scene is very much in flux. It's all amazing technology and shit, and it's gonna be really cool. It's a wonderful thing. I personally am glad I'm not super deeply invested into DJI. I'm super glad I didn't get deep. Yeah. I know that if I just bought DJI yesterday or last week, I've been pissed off, bro. I've been fucking,
man.
you know what I'm saying? Or
right
whatever.
Like, I wouldn't know what to pick.
I mean, I hate to say it, but if I was like, I mean, for anybody who's new and like if you haven't made that jump into digital, fucking sit it out for a minute, bro. Resist the hype. Resist the hype because there's a lot of stuff happening just even this year, and it's all cool. It's all cool, and
some people just want to fly, and they're gonna have to buy something.
Yeah, if you got nothing, that's a whole nother story. But if you're sitting on analog waiting to make the plunge. I would,
Yo, bro, my brother.
I would wait. What's up, Will?
What up, Willie?
You know, I just been saying it for a while. I just saw a lot of flux.
Bro?
There's the Orca shit coming. You know, there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. We don't know all the details. I'm not calling anything on it until we know. It's fucking. I have no doubt that Orca is going to release the system. I'm not going to say it's tomorrow or any. I would never put a date on it, but I have no doubt that they are going to release the system. I think that's
at some point.
Yeah, but
they almost have to.
But you know what's kind of fucked up because now if they want to try to compete with these new 1080 potential options that are coming, like I don't think the V2s can't support it, right? The Orca V2 goggle can't support 1080p. Is that accurate?
I don't believe so.
Does anybody know in the chat can the Orca V2 support 1080p? Because if not, they're already kind of behind the ball, because, on a good note, the HDZERO offering that's coming, it looks like it has very similar specs in terms of screens. It's an OLED 90 hertz 1080p capable screen. So that's interesting, That I wouldn't be surprised if they're using the same fucking panels, to be quite honest. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me.
I'm all for it. I just want to see the Fat Shark function well. I'm just gonna hold out until I see what everything does.
No, I'm excited.
I would really like to see these new, CAD-X Walk Shark Riot VTXs. if they turn out as good as what they were when we saw the preview and stuff, without the glitches though and everything, like when Bubby was flying them and Bardwell was flying them. I would like to see that technology all of a sudden get shared across the platforms. So your HDZERO goggles and these new Shark whatever avatar goggles work with them. And
I mean, I think that's kind of the holy grail at the end of the day. If we could just get a fucking open broadcast HD link that everybody could fucking make goggles for. That is the equivalence of what we have in analog, and that's what that's what FPV needs, in my opinion. I think that's what we need. And then there's no more bullshit. Let's get rid of all this bullshit, bro. Yeah, dude,
all have our
buy whatever DJI, Fat Shark, whatever goggle you want. Let's just get a fucking standard in our link and stop this dumb shit. Let's work together and make something that we can all fucking get behind.
Are stupid.
It is. And I hate to say it, but if the rumors... I don't know if y'all like the rant I saw today or from some streamers. I'm just like, yo, if DJI actually does shit can their stuff, and I mean it's a loss in one regard. It's gonna hurt. I think it's gonna hurt to some regard. It's definitely gonna
hurt a lot of people.
That wouldn't. I mean, it honestly wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to scrap the whole thing. You've got a lot of industry people using it. I mean,
there's a lot of conjecture.
It seems like you would repurpose it or make it, sort of like they have the kind of professional gear that they charge double for.
At the end of the day, I just think they just go back to doing what they do well and they've always made money on. And FPV wasn't that big of a thing for them anyway, really.
No.
In the grand scheme of things, let's just be honest, But
and they talked about releasing these new V3 goggles, and they're not going to be compatible with the older air units and everything else. Like, back to what I was saying before about these new VTXs. What if their new what if the technology is all shared or leaked or whatever, and the new V3 DJI goggles are actually compatible with this stuff?
That would be a thing.
I think they would sell more goggles because now people don't have to buy their air units in order to experience their goggles. If they had some good features to offer in their new V3 goggles, it'd be one more, like you said, back to analog. You could wear your DJI goggles. You could wear your HDZERO goggles. You could wear your Fat Shark HD goggles.
I mean, that certainly would be cool if it was all open source and intercompatible and all that shit. But I mean, ultimately, I just want the better fucking vision, right? Just give me the better product. I just want best available. If I can afford it, that's what I want. My problem is like it's volatile. Like,
it's very in flux
let's
right
say
now.
that DJI could cancel them because they've stolen proprietary software, hardware, whatever the fuck they've done. If they've done that, I have no idea. Speculation at best. But what if they can do that? Well, that would completely fuck everybody that just put $600 down on fucking.
I don't. Yeah.
I mean, if it's a possibility.
I have no reason.
I'm not putting my money there yet.
I have no reason.
That's my only thing.
I have no reason to distrust the dude from Walk Snail because they're saying they didn't have any DJI stuff at all. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt right out the gate, unless
I
somebody
don't care one way or
otherwise.
the other. I don't like how Fat Shark and Rotor Riot responded. I just thought it was just shady. It's just like, why? Why do you think you need to fib? Or create, you know what I'm saying? Create untrue realities. I don't care. Nobody does. We just want good product.
I think everybody in the chat needs to remember, number one, this is talking about these things. I definitely do not want to add to the negativity. I'm just
I want the best available product.
Let me finish. I don't want to add to the negativity, but talking about this stuff helps educate the community of what's really going on so they can make educated decisions. We're not here to spread drama. And I see some comments in the chat like, go fly. That's what I'm saying. You got analog and you don't need to invest in a digital system right now? Go fucking fly what you got. Be happy. I also see a lot of people that are quitting FPV because of all the drama, and I'm just like, dude, question why you were flying in the first place. Like, when I started flying, I didn't give a fuck about putting videos on YouTube. I was flying because I fucking love flying. That's what we got to remember, right? You got to fucking do. If you're not into flying anymore, then by all means, hang it up, homie. But if you're quitting because some companies, even if this is some big lie conspiracy, whatever the hell it is, okay, yeah, it's a shitty thing, but dude, that shouldn't affect you. Go have fun and fly. At
the end of the day, an inverted yaw spin still an inverted yaw spin. It should give you the same thrill, no matter what some company or person A or B said. Like, go do a juicy flick and enjoy yourself.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
I think
I'm only kidding.
I think it's important though.
You make a valid point though, bro. You do. The bottom line is you fly for yourself. I mean, everything else is the drama.
What is everybody doing it for at the end of the day?
That's all of our lives aspect of the hobby is all the nonsense in the background,
I hate to say it though, but some people do it because it's, they want to have the latest, greatest shit all the time, and that's part of their image. That's their thing. That's their ego. And, and I think that's part of the issue is there's a lot of egos flying around. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to add to what Bubby's saying, say low-key disappointment. I mean, some people got it. Other people have nothing better to do. They're just looking to, like I've mentioned before in the past, they want to feel relevant to what's going on in the community, either, internally or externally out of it though. But you got a lot of people out there that don't have access to equipment that we use, and they're probably flying by themselves half the time. So they get the information as being presented to them, and they make up their own conclusion whether it be positive or negative without actually having any known facts. And everybody here that's in the chats and are all of us all speculating to a certain degree based upon the information that's given to us. Until the product is in our hands and the product is shown to us, and everybody's just, pardon my French, talking shit.
And
here's my.
You're gonna see a tear down within, I bet you, fucking no time.
Absolutely.
Like once
my thing is also though, but the people involved walked into this shit themselves, right? Like Fat Shark and Rotor Riot stepped into the shit fucking pile themselves. They created it.
Well, there's definitely some truth to that.
By just being dishonest, in my opinion, or just not open when people had questions. And then got pissed about it because people had questions. This is a tinkering community. We're fucking in everything.
Yeah.
We break down every piece of every song. Like motherfuckers found out where Walk Snail was created and when. FPV, not fucking private investigators, just the FPV community. Fuck off if you're so surprised and pissed off. That's the only thing that irritates me is that kind of response to a community that has always responded that way. Always.
Yeah, you really can't bullshit the FPV community.
I'm just saying. I love, give me all the best technology. I'm ready for HD. But every time I go to invest, it's like, oh shit, this is not stable.
This is exactly why I didn't buy anything once.
Yeah, exactly.
My gear was jacked, dude. I was like, what do? I was like, I kind of liked Fat Shark, but I wasn't really that happy with it. And then DJI is there, but I never tried it. And there's something that's going to come out. And you know what? I spoke to Brad, bro, B-Rad. And I was like, what should I do? I was DMing him, And he was like, dude, if you're going to make an investment, go with DJI. I think that's the way to go. And I was like, all right. And I was about to pull the trigger. And I didn't, just because I was busy. I moved. And thank God, because then I see this video, and now I'm like, see, just when I think that I have my mind made up, I don't. Which goes back to what you're saying, is that there's just so much turmoil in the digital world. You just don't know which way to go. You really don't.
Analog is still, like, I still have a fucking great time on analog. You know
Same.
what I mean? Like, so
no issues with it.
Well,
I really want it. I really want HD. Give me HD.
I have no goggles. I'm legitimately the only way I could fly is on a simulator. And it's funny because Squibs actually hit me up as well. And he see my name on a list on, I think it was DCL or DRL, one of the two. But my name was there. And he was like, dude, is that you? You see my, I was like, yeah, bro, I'm flying again. But the only way I can fly is on a simulator.
Where you goggles?
Hey, stick time.
My goggles disappeared when I moved, bro. I don't know if the mover stole them or if I left them back in New York.
Dude, that sucks.
Not only my goggles, but my Tango too. I actually found my old Tyrannus here, bro. So I have a controller. Yeah, true story. So I got this. I don't have the module anymore. The whatchamacallit module.
Well,
the
you
Crossfire module
for like what, 110?
I don't think.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We gotta. I want to keep in tune with the chat tonight because I think they can help. I think they have things to say, so I think we need to pay attention. I think Bubby was asking what were they dishonest about. I don't know, like. For me, just from my perception, it was the way Greg. To be honest, the way Greg presented it, it seemed like it was very much a Fat Shark thing, and I think a lot of people took that as dishonest. It wasn't about they were doing this or that, and to be quite frank, Bubby, I think the way Drew responded was taken as combative by many people, and that's just the reality. And I think that everybody should have slowed the fuck down before they started responding to this stuff. I know that people are probably pressured to respond or feel like they're pressured to respond, and I've been caught in it myself personally. Sometimes if you're upset or frustrated and you respond, for lack of a better term, you're emotional and you behave badly, and a lot of people took it that way, and a lot of people that are predominant fucking members of this community, like Ian from Madstech. And let's be honest, like, it felt combative, and maybe you should have just waited. Like, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not judging him. I'm just telling you what I see. The fucking
or Rotorite. I'm just simply saying.
Oh, nobody's hating on Stacy.
It seemed, from my perspective, getting all the information that I took in. Me personally, who am I? I know shit. But from my perspective, it seemed as if when people commented on Caddx and Walk Snails and DJI's, how that relationship worked and how that came about and what that was, it seemed like it was deflected to, no, this is Fat Shark, period, paragraph, pinpoint. There is no connection to Caddx or whatever. Yet the things that I was seeing, again, this is me speaking from my personal perspective, nobody else's. Nobody's fed me this, whatever. It seemed as if, it was deflected. It was said, nope, that's not it. Nope. But over here, Joshua Bardwell and...
I mean, even Josh is questioning this. Let's just put that on the table. I'm just going to put this on the table. Fucking Josh Bardwell is questioning this to some degree. You know, and he's being very careful about what he says. And I understand. I feel for Josh's position a little bit. So I'm just putting that out there. And I was, fucking, and I don't know how Stacy even remotely got fucking put in this conversation. That's
they did?
Absolutely not.
That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know why you would bring her up, Ilbro. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. But the reality is, I've been in the FPV scene longer than most people, and frankly, I've seen Rotorite do some shit I don't agree with. I'm putting it out there. All right, I don't hate them. I don't go out of my way to diss them or any of that bullshit. But I've seen some shit that I don't agree with. It is what it is. They're running a business. They're going to run their business the way they want. But the customers have the right to know what they're buying. And that's fact.
Yeah, I watched you fly it, Will. For sure.
If it's, I wouldn't even keep my DJI system. If this system's good, I'll buy it and I'll use it professionally. I don't have a problem with the tech. I think what the community...
I don't think anybody has a problem with the tech. I think it's just the whole air of mystery behind it, and then
no transparency.
Like, hey, you don't.
It felt shady. Let's just call a spade a spade. The way Greg French presented it felt shady, and people questioned it. It is the nature of the community. I'm not blaming anybody.
Why do you think their logic is in hiding their partner in this whole thing?
I have no idea. Nor do
marketing,
I care.
maybe it was marketing.
Yeah,
just a marketing.
All it was. I mean, they obviously wanted to come out and say it eventually. Walk Snail wanted to come out and say something because they did.
They had their site was online as soon as it hit, bro. I was like, God damn, where'd that come from?
I just thought it was funny.
Well, I was invited to the Walk Snail group like before I even realized what was going on. I was in the group already, and I was like, what? I was reading their thing. I'd mentioned it. I was like, ooh, this company. I was going to mention something last week, actually. I'd seen the Walk Snail group last week, and I just didn't put it together. I just wasn't in my brain register at the moment. You know what I mean? And I saw it. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. And then I forgot about it. I totally spaced it.
Yeah, same here. They added me to it. I was like, oh, wait, who, what? Oh, never mind. All right, back to finding videos and shit.
I would buy it. I would buy it, and I would fly it, and I would fly it in Game of Quad.
Damn.
That's
damn. Wait. Is that that time yet? You know why, right? Where's Trin at?
One quick question before we move on.
Where's Trin? She's late.
So now I know obviously.
Where is Trin?
She is late.
I'm gonna hit her up.
I know obviously we have very.
Oh shit! What?
What happened?
What up?
Yo,
that's fucking hilarious.
What is going on? Holy shit.
Yes, I play this in the house. What's up?
Wow. That's fucking awesome.
What a freaking Easter egg.
That's an amazing surprise.
We didn't even talk all day.
Not at all? Not even a little bit?
I had no idea you were even here.
No,
that's crazy.
That's the funniest thing.
I was walking down their street and this guy with a quad was like, "Game of Quad."
That's amazing.
That's fucking awesome.
And I was about to hit you up too. I was like, where the hell is she at?
Everybody was actually.
No wonder you were on the low.
Without further ado,
Game of Quad, drop it.
I think it's time.
Well, that means that you gotta make your own criticisms here live.
All right, let's get the playlist.
What's up, Forevermore? John Solo.
You got a lot of people here. You got a lot of people tonight. Got Bubby, we got Kim, we got Will, we got John, Doom, Joyce, Bagoo, Cement. We know him already. Who else? I can think of.
All right. So we had last week we had What Is Real win and set the trick for this week is the infinity roll. The infinity rollo.
Mississippi roll.
You're saying it wrong. You forgot the you forgot the n.
The infinity. All right, here we go. What is real? Set a trick for this week's game of quad. Let's go.
Done.
Well, I could have sworn you said that Bubby take a poop at the dive gate.
I was just throwing this out here. I am chill, bro, but I don't appreciate somebody insinuating we're talking about somebody who's not a part of this conversation. So I'm going to respond to that. I'm sorry.
No, that was because Bubby made a joke. Bubby said that Rotor Riot is made out to be this big corporation, but actually it's ran by Drew and his mom.
It is.
So that's where that. So then Will was like, "Yeah, why has anybody got to be hating on?"
Nobody is. That's the thing.
Exactly.
I don't know. I just don't appreciate like somebody putting something like that in our mouths, man. I'm sorry. I just don't. Even if maybe I mistook it, but that's not a place I want to be. It's not how it is.
That's how we want to toy.
Yeah, that's not a. There's a certain amount of fanboyism going on too, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's a lot of that.
A whole lot of fanboyism.
Listen, time will tell, boys. That's the way it always goes. Once the regular pilots get their hands on the gear, regular pilots get their hands on the gear. The truth always, the time always tells the tale.
What roles are we supposed to be doing here?
Infinity.
We got AJ Mez.
They're infinity rolls. Don't get it twisted.
I'm kind of mad though because I actually did this video on one of my. I did this actual spin for like a good 10 seconds on one of my videos.
Then where is it?
I just remembered it. I just remember I did it like during the pre-show. I was like, "Fuck, I did that." It was a good one too.
I haven't flown in real life in almost a year at this point.
I went 3 weeks without flying. I was going nuts. I can imagine you.
Yeah, dude. You know what the worst part is like, it didn't even cross my mind, like, seriously, until I realized that I lost my gear. Once I realized I lost my gear, then I really wanted to fly. I was like, fuck!
Did you have a box? Did you have a box labeled drones FPV on in the movie?
I did, bro, but I'm a drunken fool. So when I moved. It was a little. It was like a little knapsack bag that I had all my gear in for like my micro, where I used to do all the building dives in Manhattan and everything like that. And somehow, either I left it at my old place in New York, or the movie stole it. So, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past me being just so stupid that I left it there, because I left a lot of stuff there. So I don't know, man. Whatever the case may be, I'm out of gear.
You're in the land of RDQ and Get FPV and Rotor Riot, so there you go. You got 3 places you can shop for, or four places.
Yeah, I mean, I actually never looked at the proximity of those places from where I'm at, but
they're on the west side. They're in the west side.
Yeah, I'm on the east coast. Yeah,
the closest one would probably be Get FPV, and that's still going to be
a freestyle edit or a game of quad edit.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I have no problem just mail, sending stuff in mail again. It's just now, like I said, going back, not to beat a dead horse, but I just don't even know what I'm going to buy now at this point,
TX16
All right.
Mambo for radio.
We need to reset the. Is that?
Do you know what's
that?
What's out there? I love Anakin. I can't wait.
What is that? Bot Grinders stream? Holy shit!
27, the Kenobi series. I'm going to be geeking out with my saber out.
All
Got bit.
Is that what you call it?
Decoder ring for that.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
It's like Kylo Ren. One goes up and.
All right, let's get back to the game of quad. Everybody, pay attention and get your votes in. Let's get the bot going. Sorry, I didn't start the bot.
You did it all, did you?
Didn't start the bot. I'm fired.
I was ready today and I forgot to bring my popcorn out just in case.
Wait, was there only 2 entries?
No, there was four
Four.
Quattro.
Oh, weird. Okay, there it is.
All right, well, we're starting from the top. Here we go. From the tip. First one up is Sprax.
Sprax.
Great videos this week.
Oh, you definitely want to see a John Solo, bro. It definitely will get you one with the Force.
Who are you voting for?
John did ask you, you want to see my saber? I was like, you definitely want to see that. If you only need the power of the dark side.
Ooh, yeah.
How many was that, Sparks?
That was.
Wait, are we counting on it based upon that? Oh. No, it's hard.
We did a couple going back.
Yeah, that was pretty hot.
Yeah, the backwards one.
All right, next up we got AJ Maz.
Is AJ the one that did like a cool rewind, or was that Swift?
It's awesome. He's playing Roadhouse Blues. I love it.
I don't remember it.
Why does everybody's videos that lives from a neighborhood, every time I see it, I just think of Sparks' place? Like, I still think this is Sparks' line.
I made that.
This is the Dark Lord himself, the Duck.
The Duck. He goes great with soy sauce. Go ahead.
Since he doesn't have one, I'll give him a duck.
It's fucked up. Every time I watch a video on anywhere on any social media like TikTok and someone does the quack, all I think was.
And then he went backwards.
Yeah,
Jesus
that
Christ,
rewind
dude.
there was
Holy fuck, that's nasty.
Now he's showing off.
And last but not least, Spagoo.
So you're fuzzy about Infinity Roll, you just roll. You know, as you rolling. Boy, my quad is rolling.
I made the mistake and I smoked it. Then I forgot my.
Wait, you got happy hour before? Wow. Can't do that.
I got Toffee Crunch Oreos.
Coffee
Fucking
Crunch?
done.
Coffee Crunch Oreos.
That shit's gone.
Wait, is that like a local thing? Don't tell me how to take a freaking drive to the supermarket.
Nice.
I saw them when I was in Chattanooga a couple weeks ago, and then I
Right.
saw them again here in Texas. So I'm like, all right.
It's gotta be a regional thing, bro. Because every time I travel, bro, I always see like different stuff that's not available in other parts. It's gotta be regional things. I've never heard of that. The most we've gotten here are like the strawberry Oreos. That's about it.
Had these Oreos around 4th of July that had
All right.
rocks in them.
That what?
Like
Thanks,
red,
dude.
white, and blue.
Oh, the Pop Rocks
firecrackers.
ones. Yeah.
Good shit, everybody.
That's a regional thing. They don't got that.
Shout
up
out
here.
to all the participants.
Yeah, forevermore, just multiple rules.
Get
We haven't seen you on in here for
cementkidd.
Did you say cementkidd?
Cementkidd. Those are fucking fighting.
Wow.
Is that what you said? It sounded like it.
Stop, Dad.
Here come the
Everybody forgot my name.
Here come the bots.
I don't submit.
Smoke many blunts.
Just have to say a few keywords like gargle.
Oh, comes the bots now.
Oh,
He's a real dick.
Didn't even matter.
Keep it going. I deserve this. I deserve all of it.
I love you, cementkidd.
I fucking love you too, Audie. I miss you guys.
Good pronunciation there.
I can't wait to get some goggles and get into the fucking Game of Quad challenges again.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it, dude.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm on the simulator and I'm thinking about it, but I just feel like I can't do it on the simulator. It's not like same for me.
I mean, you can. You can, but I want you to fly in real life.
Nah, yeah, me too, dude.
Well, yeah, of course.
Places over here, man. One thing I gotta say is Florida's got some great spots, dude. Fucking awesome. Even like where I live right now.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I want to see the videos.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, you know what I'm actually going to post tomorrow? Not tomorrow, Saturday.
Oh, shit, do it.
Saturday, for the first time, I don't know if you guys remember, I got that submarine.
Yeah.
For the first time, I'm going to use it on Saturday, bro. Crystal clear water, I'm going on a boat, so I'm going to post something on that.
Sweet.
So, nice. Can't wait.
That'll be cool.
The most important question, though, did you get yourself some flip-flops?
I got multiple pairs of flip-flops. Yeah.
Shorts? I have to get you one of the team shorts and flip-flop shirts here.
I got a bunch of Salt Life shirts. You know.
It's official now.
Like me, bro. I'm always geared to go. But you have to have the official, damn it, base. That doesn't show it.
Get your votes in.
I got the official Puerto Rican ones with the fucking.
That's awesome.
I got.
Yeah, I need a pickup truck now, and you
gotta do the mullet and the shaven side.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing I could shave is the sides. I got nothing else on top. I'm gonna shave anything is the sides.
Don't forget to pick up some PBR while you're at it.
True story. Yeah.
Or Keystone.
You know, it's funny. When I first moved down here, a friend of mine said, "Did you ever look up Florida Man?" I was like, "What the fuck is that?" They're like, "Just type in your birthday and Florida Man and see what happens." So in my case, a guy chased his mother into a pool with a lawnmower. He was like high on crystal meth, but it's crazy because if you type in your birthday and Florida Man, somebody did something stupid on that day in Florida. Like, it's funny. You know?
I'm doing that right now.
None of the mash with the flip-flops.
Especially if an alligator's involved.
Oh, there's always an alligator involved. Always.
I did see an alligator. Always.
What happens if your submarine gets attacked by an alligator?
I mean, that would be some great footage, dude. Because I mean, I'm recording it. I'm recording it on my laptop. So, I mean, I'll get that footage. That'd be awesome. It would be a big loss monetarily, but it would be a good video.
Video comes down umbilical on that, right?
Yeah, they all do. I mean, if it's
shock around the clock from noon till noon.
The technology is there for wireless, but I mean, it's like $30,000 for a wireless submarine. It's crazy money because it goes by sonar. So it's tethered. All of those are tethered, but mine could go 500 feet deep, so it's a nice one.
So if it fails safe, does it just goes belly flops?
Yeah, well, the way it's tethered is you could actually pull it in from the tether.
Chi-Town.
Chicago.
You can pull it in like an anchor if you actually lose battery or whatever, you know?
Oh, nice. Yeah, because you're tethered.
Yeah, exactly.
But the wireless one, if you fail safe, it just goes belly flops.
Yeah.
But you can go 500 feet.
The little flag comes out.
Well, I mean, there's really nothing. I mean, where I'm going,
your face is tethered.
It's very shallow. There's a lot of shark, though. There's a lot of shark out here. I'm hoping I can see some shark if I go out deep enough, you know?
Get those votes in.
That'd be pretty cool.
Shark meat's delicious, bro.
Matty Blunt's won game of quad now that he's here, so we don't need the votes anymore.
I already voted for him.
Defaults, yeah.
He's
not lying.
I gotta get home and get to my kids.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, look at her timing. Look at her timing.
She just left him all by the no.
Like,
she said peace. Hold on, baby.
I'll
be back
in the parking lot.
Jake's there like, what the fuck?
No. Yeah, honey, I'm just gonna go meet some strange dude in a hotel room.
Right?
And she was like, take the gun. I'm like, no, babe, I'm good. I don't
take the gun. It's Texas. Of course it's taking the gun.
Right?
I mean, if you're in Georgia and you got one, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, that was a culture shock when I went out there. People walking around with guns. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just tell your husband you want to eat some Oreo cookies with coffee.
Okay. You get those votes in. Let's go.
Get them votes in.
Snorkel naked in shark water.
Oh, hell no.
D3 said it's the best.
I got a tweet the other day from one of our local news stations about some dude in Florida, obviously, that claimed, I wasn't drinking while driving. I was only drinking while at red lights. And that's going to be his defense in court.
Hey, man, I'm with that. I'm with it. Look, I was not driving while I was drinking.
Helpful if you turn the car off.
That's the red light.
Yeah, at the red light, turn the car off. No,
that's a thought.
Oh, just jump on
no
the
joke,
jump
I
on the
got
passenger
woken
side.
What
up
if you, like-
by a sheriff's officer tapping on my window with a flashlight while I was asleep at a red light.
Oh my God.
2 o'clock in the morning. She's like,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Luckily, I wasn't driving, but I've had something
They let me
similar
go.
like that happen.
They let him go, folks.
Yeah.
That would not
They
that
do
would
with everything in Florida.
that would not happen in New York. New York, they'll fucking
He's like, this
investigate you left
dude's
to right.
not even drunk. He's not even on meth. Let this man go. He doesn't. No
I had
bath
all my teeth,
salts.
so they let me
Yeah,
go.
no
No bath salts. We're good.
He's not trying to eat my face.
He didn't try to eat me.
He didn't try to eat me.
Let him go.
So when you're in Florida, when you get Florida, you get pulled
Get
over by a
home
cop.
safe.
Make sure you have like a little bag of like salt. And as soon as the cop shows up, you start going. Yes, officer.
Don't do that.
Don't.
Yeah,
No, I'm
so-
just kidding.
Oh, definitely not.
Guys, that-
Yeah.
I don't
Cops
condone
fuck
that
around out
shit.
here. It's the truth.
I heard it's medieval down there.
No, it's different, you know. It takes.
You kid,
I'm here
but
for
no.
I'm here for about 7 months now, so I'm starting to really settle in,
Acclimate.
especially now.
You're a Floridian now.
No, never. But I mean,
Unfortunately, that
I'm
accent.
happy, you know.
No.
I'm happy.
Unfortunately, that accent of yours, bro, is gonna fucking bring up red flags anytime you walk into a store. It's like, yeah, can I get an order? He's from New York. He's from
Yeah,
New York.
no, it's true. I mean, I still have the New York plates on my car too, so it doesn't help.
Bro.
All right, we're wrapping up the game of quad.
If you can make it past July, then you can survive in Florida.
I know that's what everybody keeps telling me. It's crazy.
Why?
It's
Why?
crazy hot.
Oh, cause all the heat. Oh,
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'm from the tropics.
Give
No
it a
biggie.
second for the delay. Oh, we just got another vote in. Oh,
Yeah.
Forevermore
I think
will take
Texas is
you
hotter than
as long
Florida.
as we can get you.
I think Texas is hotter than Florida. IMO.
I've never been to
Definitely
Texas.
don't do
Were you
anything
outside
Texas.
It wasn't as bad as
Ever.
it was yesterday.
No, yesterday it was hot
Yesterday
here.
was really bad. It was like
Today was
95.
90.
But it's drier than it is in
It's
Houston,
dry right now.
That's the whole thing. Is the humidity is what kills you. You know.
Houston,
right now it's not humid
Houston
yet.
is like one of the most humid, nasty, hot places I've been to.
Because we're called Bayou City.
Yeah,
How they
yeah.
keep the
Y'all still
weather
get
down.
that.
Bayous.
Y'all still kind of on the Delta. Y'all is hot as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, but then when
And
it
lots of
pours-
concrete in Houston. Like,
But when
in
it
the
pours
city.
in Houston, it pours, bro. You guys don't get rain. You guys get somebody just leaves the faucet turned on at full freaking
Oh, bro,
blast.
it's like that here too, though, man. The rain is crazy here, bro.
Yeah,
Can't
but
even
Florida's
see.
random.
Yeah, but when it rains, you can't even drive. It's bad, you know.
Yeah.
You can't even see out the windshield. It's bad.
all right, here we
Oh,
go.
Florida.
Game of quad.
Hey,
Yeah, for sure.
Survey
Oh,
says-
somebody just dropped a vote as I'm closing. I think he got it in. Oh, it didn't come in, but oh well. Toxic didn't get counted.
Oh shit! The Dark Lord.
Swift motherfucking
Dark
Duck
Lord.
brings in the win this week. Congratulations, homie. Oh, Johnny.
Fouls.
Toxic. I saw.
D3 is Team Johnny Depp, by the way, in case
I think I was
anybody
going to
wondered.
change my name
So-
from Cementkidd to Johnny Depp.
So technically,
Whatever.
shit.
I'm trying to figure out which one.
technically, Swift Duck got 8 votes because Toxic didn't get counted.
Depp heard.
I feel like Duck wins every week I'm on. Why is that?
mean,
every
this
time I'm on, Duck
Is it
wins.
is it the curse of Cement Kid?
It's the first time I've won or entered in a long time.
Since the last time I was on.
I think the last time I entered, I didn't win, but I entered.
She's,
Oh, for everyone,
she's
she's
a
last time you were
magician.
here.
Yo,
She's a
for
That's
whenever
the way
you're
you
late.
rewound it. You did the rolls, but then you did them as a rewind. Like, that was really dope.
that's actually
Yeah.
You went
I was trying to go more in a straight path backwards, but it didn't work that
You
way.
just looked really good when you did it, man. That's what it
It's
was.
steezy, brother.
Exactly.
Paramore is asking why you're in the chat now, and I was like, you missed it. She's like, I don't know how far you live from, but she's close to where Perrier stain.
Oh yeah, actually I do gotta go though. I just came for
That was a
This is real. We gotta go.
It's actually super awesome.
Surprise. Do your thing, mother. Do your thing.
I love ya. Bye.
Oh, hell yeah. Thanks for coming, dude. So awesome.
It was an awesome surprise. I was like, holy shit.
That was a good surprise.
Yeah, I live like 20 minutes away from here. I'm
Up the block.
Nice.
totally fine.
Good looking out. You
night.
too, dude.
Nice.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
That was fucking awesome.
I was gonna tell her, if you guys ever see a blue GS300 slam on the floor with the driver on the right hand side,
Like a Lexus?
Yeah, Lexus. That's my friend's car. It's a GTR blue with well, he doesn't have the wheels on it now. He has some other wheels on it, but it's a right hand driven one. And it has black Florida plates. If you see that,
if I
that's
ever
my
see
boy.
it in New York, I'll let you know.
Nah, he bought it. He actually bought it in Virginia. Then he shipped it. He had to wait, I think, 9 months to get that car into.
Hey, Artie, you're in New York now?
You know, I'm still in New York.
No,
No, I'm being facetious. Saying, yo, if you see this GS300, my boy's car,
But it doesn't say
I'm in
GS300.
Atlanta.
It doesn't say GS.
Doesn't say, and it's a right-hand driving.
Right-hand driven with the saddle red interior, so it looks like the BMW interior. That's a rare color.
So when I see, is he like does magazine shoots or something? Like, is there a reason I would see him?
Yeah, he does. He has magazines, a couple of shots here.
Send me. Now I want to see the damn car. Send me a picture of the fucking car.
I'll send you his whole page on fucking.
Let me just get that. I like cars.
I got you. I'll be
No,
right back.
no money to do cars, but I love cars.
No, I'm the same way too, bro. I'm a car whore, bro. I'm a car.
I would
whore.
be if I was.
I would totally be a car guy if I had money.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, cars are expensive.
I can't.
But
I mean,
God, they are.
If I had enough money, I'd have like at least one car. But I can't really be.
We need to get you a license.
None of that matters, bro. Seriously, I'm a camera guy. I'm never gonna be a car guy.
If I got into cars, dude, I spend money.
They're more expensive. Cameras are more expensive.
I'll spend money on fucking lenses than fucking.
Bro, lenses at $2,000 a pop, they are more expensive.
That's cheap for
Yeah,
some.
but I mean, if you start buying motors and shit like that, you're talking 50, 60 large. If you're gonna,
I mean, sure, but at the end of the day, your setup is gonna be about equal cost.
Bro, big boy anamorphics
are be divorced, bro. There's no doubt about it.
Some of the lenses they use in filming cost are the same price as a Lamborghini.
The drones is about driving to divorce.
No, yeah, I know. There's a lot of money in videography.
There's a
lot industry for a while.
There's a lot of money in cinematography.
Casting, eh?
I need to see this.
Casting couch.
That's how I roll, bro.
There's a lot of money to be made on the casting couch, apparently.
And your I knew it.
I was a fluffer.
On the box.
Jesus Christ.
And was your film location located in Five Guys?
No, it was in the back
that's where that former name came from.
Yeah, it was in a couple movies you guys probably seen.
How many volumes?
I was in volume 6.
There's one called the
Scene
Lollipop
3.
Guild.
Scene 3.
Oh Jesus!
Was that the O shot?
All right.
That was the O shot.
Back on target. For fuck's sakes. Just
when we go
just
left
check
and
out
center, it's far, dude.
Only cement. Anyways, fucking so
make sure you look for only cement and
Jesus
not only
Christ.
Kid. Don't look for only kid.
Oh, so you guys seen it? That was the name of the film. I can't believe it.
So you're. Let's stop. Seriously, stop. Fucking hell.
Don't blame it on me. I didn't start this. It's between cement and Artie and
what the hell else? What's all right? Back on the goddamn topic. What else is in the news? Fucking back on the goddamn topic. So what else do we have? So what do you guys think about the DHD? Have you guys checked out the HDZERO shit? The goggles?
I'm liking the looks of the HDZERO goggles, to be honest.
Somebody throw up a picture. Who's on there?
Got a picture there, Chad, or you want me to send it to you in the chat?
All right, now forgive me because I've been out of the loop for so long.
No, I don't have a picture.
HDZERO goggles are actually different from the new Dominator HD goggles.
Yes.
Totally different.
Yes.
Totally different.
I didn't even see those
system.
It's the
Different
HD
company,
system.
the whole-
HDZERO.
It's
The
basically
HDZERO
what Shark Bite.
But they
That's what it evolved into.
They integrated the RTX into the goggles. I'm imagining, right?
Right.
Completely
And then on top
derailed
of
you.
that, you get 4 mounting points for your antenna for patches and omnis. You get an external adapt, well, it comes with it, but you have the option to install an analog VTX.
Holy shit! It's funny. It's like actually on the top of my. Oh, it was like right on the top of my Facebook. Actually, there's a lot of chatter going on about the HDZERO goggle.
There's a lot, and also the Carl and the people developing the new HD systems, they're actually releasing STL files that can actually render different housings. So they're going to have the ability to actually you can make
that's cool.
Yeah, you can make it look however you want.
Yeah, and
cool.
people are showing out their forms of
all right,
rendering.
there's your fucking picture, Artie.
And your fucking picture.
There's your fucking
not
picture.
Everyone likes the current design, but I think I don't mind it. It looks like an old school Nintendo.
It's got a very retro
shit.
vibe. I have seen a few conceptual like changes that people have made that I liked. I liked some people rounded the fan cover and stuff and made some various changes. And what's dope about this scenario is it's like I think ultimately what it ends up being is going to be very community driven, which is super dope. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What
like,
Carl's mentioning about and it's actually adding to what Carl said. He wants, community involved, and that's what some people in this hobby want to do. I'm not saying everybody, and it's not for everybody, But if you're a person that likes to tinker with their quads, with the setups,
well, you got HDMI in and out. You got USB. There's a alleged optional 2.4 streaming module coming, so you can stream your feed right off the goggle. Over 2.4
in and out HDMI,
I already said that. HDMI it has focus adjustments and IPD adjustments that they're actually. The community's been making changes to the design of the adjusters. They said they stuck out too much or something, so they were actually tweaking the designs of that. If I
remember, are you supposed to have been locking your settings so it doesn't move? Remember how the HD2s had that issue that if you tap them in a certain way, you lose your DPI. Supposedly these are supposed to lock in your adjustments.
Right. Yeah, the IPD. I never had a problem with my IPD so much as your focus will. Whenever you clean the lenses on an HDO2,
this just happened to me too.
Every time you clean the lenses, you got to refocus. That's just part of the life.
Which is actually adding to what you mentioned too. So a lot of people complain about the HD2s when you used to adjust the DPI, that the actual module moves back and forward and such your eyelashes. And this one doesn't move. It's all internally, so you don't have to worry about that touching your eyelids.
I'll tell you one thing I really liked as far as the design of the Fat Shark goggles is I love how they have the dials for the what do you call it? The distance for your eyes. The dial and the distance for the eyes is the same knob. I like that. Like you can separate the eyes and move them as close as you want if you just go in this direction, and then you spin a knob to control your focus. I think that's genius, really. Because the HDO2s didn't have that. It was two separate things. You obviously had, I think that's very smart. It was a good design upgrade right there.
On and off switch, and instead of having, you see it's got the scroll on it, which actually the scroll's kind of cool. I like the scroll thing. You just sit there until you find your settings.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds over the next few months.
I just want to see how the hardware internally is going to run.
They've got
how the lenses.
Apparently you can adjust all the 3 fans individually. It's got 3 fans on it. Apparently you can adjust them differently. I'm really curious about the Wi-Fi streaming, and then it has this rail system on the front is what they're using, so you can do different mounts for all your antennas and shit.
So you're talking about the HDZEROs?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at on the stream.
Yeah.
I seen a video. True RC has already have those ready for production already, so you could actually buy those patches and utilize it on the rail system on it. I read somewhere also the same guy created an adapter to allows you to take the patches, put them closer, and then it has a little adapter that goes over the fan, so you can take it on and off as you wish.
Yeah, apparently they recessed the SMAs to hope. So if you're using stubbies, you can totally throw it in your bag as is. The nice thing I do like about it is that since this is just purely HDZERO, it isn't, the form factor isn't deeper. You know what I mean? Like, because to be
yeah.
honest, like what I don't like about what I saw is the analog module sticks off the side like it does on a DJI. I don't really care for that. I wish they could make something a little more streamlined. I don't know if there's a picture.
It's so crazy. I see what you're saying. How it's like that Nintendo system looks.
Oh, here's
so
a comparison.
boxy.
Here's a good comparison. This is so that's a Fat Shark versus the current HDZERO system, the new Fat Shark, and. Yeah, I mean, you can see the digital module definitely added some girth to the front of the Fat Shark that's comparable to what you get, to some degree, what you end up with in this scenario. So it does feel like this will ultimately be a little less front heavy, but I'm glad. I wanted to find some pictures of the Fat Shark. Look, I think these goggles look great. I'm not gonna lie. I love the goggles. I think that there is a lot of fucking crazy heat going on over this whole situation.
I noticed that it's wide. It could be because it doesn't have the padding on it, so it looks wider. But I'm gonna answer.
I mean, they look a whole hell of a lot better than the DJI goggles as far as.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, these look a hell of a lot better for sure.
I'm hoping for a win for all these people. I just want the best available. I'm just not going to put my money on it yet.
So now
I'm going to hold it until I'm more sure.
Personally,
I like the way they made the front of the goggles look like the nose of a shark.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it really does say Fat Shark the way it does. I'm going to try to find some more views of the goggles. Like I said, from everything I've seen about these goggles, I really do like. I like the technology, amazing. I think it looks amazing. I think it's amazing we have another option. It's going to be really interesting to see how it all ultimately unfolds, and hopefully
having options is
at the end of the day, hopefully it's all good, man. Like that's what I'm saying. And I think I just want to put something on. Like, I don't think anybody here specifically. I don't know why anybody's necessarily blaming Rotor. If I had to,
I don't think Rotor has anything to do with it.
Well, that's my point too, and that's why I hate it when it goes. I hate it when it goes down the road of fucking.
Y'all are funny.
No, listen to me. Hear me out before you fucking. Like, seriously, like, I think that for a lot of people, it might just be the fact that Red Shark owns them all. And then maybe they just don't like Red Cat. Who knows? I don't fucking know, man. I'm going to be honest. But, like, at the end of the day, like, I just don't want to go down roads, especially here, man, about, like I said, blaming people, and especially people that aren't fucking involved. It's not cool. Like,
but he just needs to eat one.
Maybe people do need Oreos. I just had to put it out there because, like, it seemed like we kind of went down a place I didn't not want to go, to be quite frank. Anyways, fucking, let me see if I can get some. Is there some good pics of the Fat Sharks? I'd like to.
I just want to ask you a question real quick, Chad, because I know if anybody would know, it would be you.
No, I don't know shit.
I don't know shit. I mean, obviously, we're all limited on information with these new goggles as far as the 1080p goes. I mean, in Bobo's video, he mentioned that if you switch to 1080p, your latency is going to move up to 40. But my question is now, what VTXs, what VTXs are going to be compatible to run at 1080p? Is there even?
Well, right now they only have theirs.
The white snail, will do it, or white snail. Not white snail. White snake. White snake will do it. White snake will do it. Fucking no. Here, let me see if I can get a better take. All right, here I go again. Fucking Walk Snail's transmitter does 1080p, but it effectively doubles the latency. Your base latency. I think it goes from
Bubby was saying that he didn't feel like it was even that bad on 1080.
I'm not saying you. Yeah, I mean that's
depending on how you're flying.
Technically, from the data we have, it goes from like 22 to 44. That's what I'm saying. The reality data it goes from about 22.
Yeah, that's a lot of bandwidth. It's got. That's a lot of information. It's moving.
Dude, 1080p. That's crazy, bro.
That's gonna be a solo flyer option. That's what that is. It's not gonna be a multi-flyer person. It's gonna be a solo person, because if the original 50 megabytes takes up 5 channels, that's gotta take even more channels out. So
there comes to one of my biggest issues I have with digital.
Here's another shot of the Fat Shark.
Is the anti-social aspect of it when it comes to like not being able to watch your
50
friends
megabytes,
when you want, and even when you can watch your friends on DJI's audience mode, it's fucking trash. Like, I'm sitting there watching
it's not great.
Fly, and I'm like, how are you flying right now? Your signal is trash. He's like, what do you mean? It's smooth. I'm like, not on my side, man. On my side, it's freezing, and it's choppy, and I don't know.
I mean, I've had it look all right, but I've had good experiences and bad with it. My first experience with it was in spectating mode, and it wasn't good. To be honest, I was like, yeah, this isn't great. But I mean, since I've owned my V2s, I've spectated people obviously in the field, and it's been fine. It's not great. They get far away.
The fact that you can't like change your settings without having your quad turned on. Like I had my goggles with me yesterday, my DJI goggles, and I was done flying. I flew all my packs, and I wanted to watch Spagoos fly. And I realized the last time I connected to my quad was on 50 megabytes, and I didn't have my quad with me, so I couldn't change it. And I couldn't just watch.
That sucks.
Like I find things like that to be just kind of annoying, that they need to like work around, and nobody talks about those issues. And I find those to be one of the big reasons I like analog the most. Just shit's just easy.
Like I said, I want to see a fucking broadcast, a nice high quality broadcast link that everybody can just tune in and watch. And,
that's what there should be.
It's just, the way they're doing the retransmits and things, currently, and accepting packets and so just right now they can't do it. And I mean, as long as it keeps stuff proprietary, it would be dope if HDZEROs really does, can deliver and be wide open. And like, I mean, and I just love to see that in general though. I mean, what I really want in digital is just, like I said, a thing that everybody can make goggles for and everybody can use, and they're all shapes and sizes and different flavors and whatever, and just like analog, it was easier. I mean, you even had fanboyism in analog VTXs, you know what I mean, back in the day. Sure. And but now it's like with the digital shit, it's gotten crazy though, man. I'm just like, god damn, it's so much in flux. It's great. I think it's great to see the cool shit, but it's like, damn, it is really in flux. And like, I'm like,
MOAR brought up a good point. Like, if these would have dropped back when the DJI V2s dropped, people probably would have looked at them a lot differently. Now.
Yeah,
because it would have been two horses in a race. It was it would have been two horses in a race. It would have been two giants going at it head to head, like a.
You would have had options.
I wanted to put some of those. I did find it interesting. There's a lot of DJI people that hate Red Cat. I'm sorry, but for whatever reasons, they don't trust Red Cat. It's a statement I've seen people say. You know what I mean? It's just interesting to see, because I hate to say it, some of them are like kind of fanboyish, but like some of them are so hype about this now. I'm just kind of like, wow, that's a little bit crazy. I'm just pointing out an observation. I'm sorry, but it's just interesting how people would hate on HDZERO when it was made by Fat Shark because they didn't like Red Cat. That's my point. And now it's so weird to see how it's all shifted. Like,
yeah, what I just don't understand. I can understand how sponsored pilots with Rotor Rider, pilots that fly for these big companies have their reserves. But the regular pilots, which is 99.9% of us that are not sponsored by these people, I don't understand how you could feel a certain way about anything. I mean, in the end, as a pilot, in the end, you're flying because you love the hobby, you want to fly. I mean, if a company gives you something that is quality and is good, then you should, you got to take all the drama and you just got to kind of just put it in the back. It's like background noise.
Honestly,
to me,
I don't spend much time on Facebook anymore because of all the bullshit. Like,
it's like, dude, who cares, bro? Like, I don't understand why. Like, I never pay attention to any of that. Like, I'll tell you the truth. I'm excited to see how all these goggles do, and then, I'm going to make a decision over time, talking to pilots like you guys that experimented with this stuff, and then I'm going to buy it, and I'll tell you what.
Enjoy. Yeah.
That's it, Take care, D3, brother. Nice to see you.
I just, like I said, I think it's dope to see some options. It would be really dope to have some links, some new links, and hopefully we'll start, like I said, see some compatible stuff, man. The good part about this walk snail thing, as far because they were selling the goggles too, right? So, I mean, maybe they'll license it to more people. Maybe there'll be more of these goggles that people can get variations. That's cool. That's great. Yeah. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you could have somebody, a cheaper company do some without all the extra features like the adjustable focus and this, to put out a cheaper goggle like the Eachines or something like that.
The one comment I made the other night is like, I bet, because the one thing I've been wanting to see is really good digital on OLEDs. The fucking screens have got to make a huge difference in the image quality. I mean, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know,
I'm sure they do. I mean, if you've owned or seen an OLED television, you know, it's pretty obvious the difference.
When Bubba was interviewing the creator of those guys, the owner of Fat Shark, what's his name?
Greg French.
Greg French. He said something that really caught my attention and made me think. What he said was, you know, when DJI came out with their system, he goes, even though I didn't make it, I was happy because I always wanted that. My dream was to have digital and that clear picture, you know? And it made me think, like, my thing, and it's not even an invention in my head, it's just a matter of time with technology. You see how we have, like, these phones now that they fold, you know, and the screen folds, and you have the OLED screen that is literally like paper in the middle. What I would love to see, which will probably happen if FPV strives to, if it goes that far, 20 years from now, is goggles that the screen actually is the entire inside of the goggle, where it's that immersive, where as you're flying, the trees are coming past you in your peripheral vision. So there's nothing more immersive than that. As of now, we have 2 small miniature screens in front of our eyes.
They got bigger though.
That's my
but they've also done the big box goggles.
The DJI screens are so big that most people turn them down. They downscale them. So I mean, you know, and like that was just like you said with the one thing about those panels, though, is they just didn't look as good as OLEDs. I can't imagine what this system looks like. I think it's amazing. You know?
No, it is. Yeah, 100%.
I think what Drone Joe, I mean, I just want to put that out there too. I've always loved Fat Shark, generally speaking. I've never had a problem with Fat Shark. I bought their shit when I flew analog. I run HDO2s. That's my shit. Whatever. It is what it is. It was the right tool for the job, right? So I bought it. You know?
Well, you understand what I'm saying, though. I'm not talking about the size of the screen. I'm talking about a goggle that actually, the entire goggle is a screen, where as like an image comes at you, it comes through
like
your
it's
eyes.
Wrapping around your face.
I think somebody's done some things like that. I think some people have done that. Maybe it's definitely in more in VR, but they haven't used the curve like folding phone screens yet that I've seen. But
that's what I was just
it's a matter of time. Sure,
that's my point. That's going to be awesome. Because then, if you do a building dive with those, it's as if you're falling off a building. Like it's so immersive. You know?
Right now, it's just I just don't think it's cost effective right now. You know what I mean? Like to
not
really,
yet.
you know,
20 years from now,
exactly.
I don't think that far out. It's gonna be
I would
sooner than
probably
that.
use that kind of thing for like cinematic type flying. I don't know how I would feel about that with like high speed, like
we probably get you sick
and freestyle, like Tech was saying. The DJI goggles, those things are pretty big on a screen. They get to the sides of your peripherals, where to the point where you have to move your eyes in order to see them. So in like freestyle, that's the last thing I wanted to be doing, is moving my eyes away from the center of the screen, because I use my peripherals to do that. I shrink that screen down to like 80%.
Well, I guess
what
maybe
the screens look like on those big giant DJI goggles that are for like the Phantoms or whatever, you know what I mean? Those dark helmet looking size goggles.
Like Oculus.
The ones that fold down.
Oh, the original OcuSync goggles or whatever. Yeah.
I don't. A friend of mine, like when he first started getting into drones, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that, and I want to buy the best stuff." So I got a Tango 2 and I got the DJI goggles, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you got the nice ones, the nice." He's like, "No, I got these. Those were too expensive. I got the other ones, the real big ones." I'm like, they're not gonna work, bro.
People were using. I think you could use those with Inspires. I think they supported Lightbridge, and you could use them with Inspires for the camera.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
No, it's pretty bad. I've always wanted. I mean, dude, someday I want to see, like, you know, basically, you know, 180 field of view, like half of a 360 rig, or maybe even a whole 360 camera as the FPV, and then just have the head tracker, you know, change your field of view so you could like look over your shoulder, look up,
that'd be cool,
look down,
yeah,
you know,
cool.
Like imagine the spatial awareness you'll be able to get once we get to that point, like where it's basically like VR tracking in a Fat Shark form factor, you know, like that's what's up. Like that's what I'm excited about. Like that kind of shit will happen. I can only imagine. Yeah, and it's practical. It's practical. Like imagine I'd be able to get a drone where you can just literally look over your shoulder and
I've seen one channel that this one dude, he's experimenting with this gimbal to put on the front of his drone that it works with both the FPV cam and the GoPro in tandem. So wherever he's looking, it's pretty much, that's where the drone's going to be looking. And then he can fly his FPV with that. So like he does some interesting shots where he'll be like flying fast and then he'll come over an excavator and then look down on it and then like orbit as he's looking down. It's pretty sick. I don't know the name of the channel though. I'll have to find it.
Right on.
I want a HUD that's got like a real-time gap tracker.
Like,
right? Nope, you won't fit through that, dumbass.
Give you like just give you an overlay. It just turns red. Like no, dude.
Back out.
Pull up.
See, Bugs FPV actually just posted something, or just posted in the comments. Video game OSD too. Like, why have we not done that? I mean, we've touched on it with the, what was that? The brain flight controller. Yeah. But the actual video game OSD. I mean, that would be awesome. And I mean, how hard would that be to implement?
You want that flashy GUI.
Well,
honestly, that's up to the chipset. The chipset is the one that got to support it. Unfortunately, like even brain is like push. Yeah, but I mean, even like the brain has it. It's like very kind of like retro looking because the chip is pretty much squeezed out all that it could possibly can. So other chipsets
not so much with the H7 system though. And to be quite honest, like if you pay attention to Dominic Clifton at all, he's done a lot of work with some people on the Pixel OSD stuff, and I've had some long conversations with Dominic about being able to integrate something like virtual gates or laser tag type stuff. And making it fucking with Pixel OSD, I think you'll get. It's gonna be like ColecoVision of video game OSD. Like we're starting over in certain regards, but it's already a possibility in to some degree. Yeah, and like you said, it was iNav does have virtual gates, right? Or has had at one point.
They have, yeah. You use GPS and you map it.
Yeah, that would become a sport, bro. If they could do like legit laser tag drone,
they got laser tag for drones.
I mean, imagine this imagine the cool thing that Drew did actually when he was flying the drone over the internet. Like imagine just being able to, you're basically connected to your console in a drone somewhere. You're able to potentially control and fly around. Like it doesn't. You don't even have to be in the same it doesn't have to be in your yard technically. You could maybe I want to rip this bando over there. I don't know or something. You know what I mean? Fly around. It'd be interesting. And then adding the fucking all the OSD stuff, yeah. Fuck.
Order an Uber, and when the Uber car shows up, just say, "Look, take this drone to this location, plug it in, and let me know. I'll be in the bathroom taking a crap while I'm flying my drone."
On that channel, if you wanted to check out chat.
Yeah, they have it. It's all a matter of what can the chipset support. But like a nice GUI interface, like what Cement was mentioning, like something really funky, like you see your instead of seeing RSSI, you see a little circle with a warning and it says blinking, so you're good, and then it goes to red when it's like getting bad, or you switch modes and you get that screen that goes acro or horizon or angle, or you're fucked.
RISKO is night flying. Good shit.
Sky's the limit with that. As far as those integrated OSDs go,
it's possible. I think what's holding it back. I think what's holding it back is size constriction, cost constriction. Because if you have a chip that has that, obviously the circuit boards get bigger, and everybody wants to go smaller. So there's that debacle. You want more, but you want to keep it the form factor. Because look at some of the 20x20. Look at the all-in-ones flight control. Look how much they had to sacrifice to squeeze everything into one.
I just
board,
I think this whole goggle conspiracy thing. It's what this whole conspiracy argument thing is. I just realized what it is just here in real time. It's the FAA, man.
It is.
It is they're trying to pass remote ID, and this is a false flag operation, dude. I'm telling you, they made us argue about digital so they could pass remote ID when we weren't looking. I'm telling you, you heard it here first.
They released the remote ID.
I can see 1 month from now, Bar was gonna do the only FPV iceberg. He's gonna just layer by layer, down the rabbit hole.
Oh, that's awesome.
You got any videos tonight?
I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of videos, I linked that video.
Here, we're gonna take a look at this thing first. Yeah, we'll take a look at this thing first. And then we also had the. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen that DJI Cinewhoop? Have you anybody seen the leaks of that thing?
That. Yeah, they show. You have an image of it?
Some pictures.
So what is this, Greg? I'm sorry. Just tell us again one more time.
This is a dude who's been working on a pretty cool gimbal to put on his Cinewhoops.
He's using a head tracker.
Right now I think it just moves up and down for the most part, but it connects both the FPV cam and the GoPro.
Oh, I've seen this.
I've seen it. Yeah.
I've seen this. Yeah, it's nothing new. It's just you just did it more advanced.
Well, people have been using head trackers for servo controlled stuff for a long time.
Years.
Yeah, and that is definitely a cool thing.
They've spent a lot of time trying to find a servo that'll run smooth.
Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah.
But I think that's kind of what this is a gimbal that he's designed.
Or he purchased, because I know my friend does. He flies with head trackers on his plane. And it's pretty cool though, because in the airplane community, I don't think it's functional as of yet, but actually somebody created a kind of like a LED based gauge cluster for the planes. So when you're flying, right, and you got the head tracker installed, you actually see a physical gauge cluster on your plane. And he has one, so when he's flying, he can actually look left to right to wherever he's flying, which is kind of eerie, but it looks so cool when he does it.
Yeah, I've seen people do it in cars. Put a head tracker on the FPV camera in a car so they can look around.
I've seen that.
I mean, the head tracking gimbals, I guess I would imagine would be really good for chase cams, like the guys that chase the race cars and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, because you could always get that shot.
The other side is
the 360 cams would do the same thing, though.
Well, the other side of it, though, with this, you can't track the 360 cams in real time. That's the downside right now. It's just not there. But with what he's doing, being able to see what he's shooting for cinematic is fucking amazing. You know, it's really fucking amazing to be able to do that. I had another point I was going to add in the fucking space.
Is he moving his head?
Yeah, he's moving his head up and down, I believe.
Yeah, do you see it? Look,
I don't know if you'd be able to control the
camera
and fly a drone at the same time, Bugs.
The point I was... People, I mean, you can, but...
Not a macro drone.
Yeah, people do it on planes all the time. So,
doing a head tracker is way more better than trying to use dials or some shit. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it that way.
That's like a whole nother kind of coordination that you would need. I don't even think it would be possible.
The problem with servo, what I was trying to say was my point with the servo systems is they're fragile. They don't hold up well in crashes. You know what I mean? And that's really the downside of servo-driven systems. Yeah. And to ultimately...
There's probably got to be a weight thing, too. I mean...
it adds weight, but... You know, it's just like with the Cinewhoop and what he was doing is like really practical because you're gonna crash from time to time, but on a freestyle quad or something, obviously you're gonna crash a lot more. You know,
a lot. You'll break servo arms or fucking gears left to right, the mounts.
Well, yeah, I don't know that's really what the application's for, right?
No, for cine or for it's like a niche kind of option, I will say.
Yeah, and somebody
flying it for flippy flops.
Somebody actually
don't need the head tracking.
I don't know. You could probably do some pretty cool trippy spins with those, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bro.
I'm sure somebody could do some crazy shit with that. But
what up, Darts?
I mean, it's just gonna be a fucking
3D
mess every time you crash.
What's going on, Darts?
It's gonna break.
What's going on, Darts?
Some people have done dual cameras as well. You can do dual cameras and get 3D and get a wider field of view in that too. I've even seen some people put dual cams on trackers. But anyways, so back to the other piece of news though is about the DJI Cinewhoop. Is that where we think the fucking what's up with that? Has anybody got any input or info on that? I saw pictures.
That's it, just pictures. Don't know much about it. From the looks of it, though, honestly, it looks like a molded plastic design, the typical DJI front camera on it. You have the image, don't you? Didn't I send the image to you?
From what I understand, it's not going to be like the regular FPV drone. It won't fly like that, like Acro or anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be semi-style. Now the question is though. Here's the question.
Wait a minute.
This is me speculating.
It won't fly.
Is it gonna
acro?
work with the current?
That's what I've heard.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's gonna be just stabilized. The question is it gonna work with the current goggles or is it gonna work with their new goggles?
Knowing
Let's see if we
DJI
can
is
make these
probably
bigger.
gonna only work with the new kit that they're gonna come and sell it with. Because you know them and their fly more combos.
So yeah, it does look like potentially a mold. This is optical flow sensors on the bottom though. That's interesting.
Yes, but you know what? When you look at the image, it doesn't look like it looks like it's like it looks like a mock-up.
It's a.
It looks like a mock-up. It doesn't look like an actual camera. Or it's just me looking at it.
I don't know.
Right?
It looks like something to me. It doesn't look. I mean,
looks scary.
It could be sonar.
No, those are optical flow sensors. I would guarantee those are optical flow sensors. Those are so you can track elevation. You can track the distance from the ground. So you could basically set the damn thing up to hover at 3 feet, and it will use those to maintain your altitude. Yeah. Optical flow is nothing new. They've done it with Pixhawk systems for ages. You can do all sorts of
Literally to sense things, John Solo.
You could buy it and install it on your quad. You just got to set it up.
Yeah, if you're running like a Pixhawk and some of the RG Pilot FC, stuff like that, you can set up all kinds of fucking optical sensors and for positioning and anti-code.
What's the
you can buy a fucking $13 fucking thing, but I wouldn't.
How high does it go?
What's the weight on it? That thing's gonna be heavy.
No clue. These are just like the early leaked pictures. That's why I was asking if anybody had.
That'd be heavy, bro. Yeah.
So, you ask the newbie questions. How fast it goes?
Yeah,
mine goes 40 miles an hour.
Does it have acro mode?
Does it have to turn to home?
Where did we hear it doesn't have acro mode? I haven't heard any info about it. I haven't heard anything.
I don't know where I heard it. I just reading facts about it or facts.
Where the fuck are the facts coming from? We got more fake news.
Well, Max did a video.
That's why I said quote unquote facts.
Was it?
Max did a video on it.
Huh?
So MadTech did a video and those 2 pictures.
MadTech has done a video on it?
I haven't watched it yet. Maybe you got the information from there.
I don't see DJI coming out with another FPV.
Well, I'm just curious because there's all the rumors about the V3 DJI goggles, and so and again, a lot of people are kind of wondering where does that leave us V2 guys, or V1 guys even for that matter. Where does that leave us? And is that related to this or no? Is this
when was the last time that DJI came out with an update for the HD goggles?
A few months ago.
Well, so that was the other thing. That's another point Bardwell brought up, I think, or somebody asked Bardwell was like, so. Cadix was saying Cadix was saying we were going to get DJI guys. We're going to get canvas mode. Well, then this Fat Shark Walk Snail version comes out and has canvas mode, and I think that's another reason why a lot of people questioned the authenticity of the information they were being told is because it was like this is everything everybody was expecting from the DJI V3 goggle. Let's be honest. And so I don't know. So, and that's what I said last week is if it's not DJI, then we potentially have another goggle coming that we're not actually privy to. You know what I mean? And that's an interesting thing to consider, man. I mean,
well, if that was true, you got to ask yourself the question: would Fat Shark be privy to that knowledge? And if they were, would they have?
I doubt it.
Would they have, released their new goggle before them? Because it makes no sense if they did know about it. They would do it at the same time.
Well, I think that's the only place where things get. What people. I think that's the reason why people are questioning this
always
so much.
Who's first to market. I mean, that's a thing, right?
Kind of reminds me of the HDOs and the Orcas. Remember that whole debacle? The HDO2s and the Orcas were delayed because of power switch and everything else. Was it HDO2s?
The Orcas were delayed. The HDO2s were.
Orcas. No, I'm saying the Orcas were delayed, but they announced their release and then it was delayed, and that really put them. They lost a lot of sales because of that. I'd imagine because.
I don't know. Did they? They did their shit on a Kickstarter.
I'm speculating though, because I'm just saying. Think about it. If they would have released when they said they were going to release, how many people would have bought the Orcas and not bought the HCO2s?
Sure.
I mean,
people bought them.
The only reason I didn't get the Orcas is because they didn't have focus adjustment, and I need focus adjustment. It's that simple for me. Like I would have got Orcas if they would have had it. Do not LiDAR over water. Yeah, that's yeah. I actually have a LiDAR sensor for my camera that I use for focus. LiDAR is neat. A neat tech. The good thing about LiDAR is you don't need light. Technically, you can be in a dark room and your LiDAR works. But anyways, that's but that's interesting to see the DJI getting into the Cinewoop market potentially.
Well, I mean, I'll be anxious to see what it means.
Makes sense. To be honest, I mean, that's because they started as a cinematic drone company, you know.
That makes more sense than the FPV drone did.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right about that. As much as we want to bitch about it, that was their coup de code. You know,
I have no reason to bitch about it. I don't know that I'll buy it.
Still be FPV.
Still is the majority of their sales. I'm sure is still their cinematic drones.
Here's my thought on that. You know, I think they're gonna take maybe the Spark or something like that, or a Mini, and they're just gonna de-gut it and then make it look like a Cinewoop. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Take off the arm, folding arms, put
the Sparks in a Whoop case.
They'll just add the transmission from the digital FPV.
No, I think doesn't the new Mavic, the Mavic Mini 2 support can use those are the ones that can use the DJI goggles, right?
I don't think so.
Remember, I don't follow. That's too much jazz going on with a bunch of different companies.
As far as I know, the only FPV drone that DJI can use is the FPV drone.
Now, this is just my speculation too, because we have no information on whatsoever on that particular drone. I have a funny feeling they're actually going to follow. They're going to offer that follow me feature. So they're going to probably do
follow me on a Cinewoop would be rad. I'm not going to lie. Follow me on a Cinewoop would be pretty rad.
Yeah.
What is it? The Sky.
I don't think the Skydio.
Yeah, on lockdown, bro. On lockdown. Yeah. So I think that they're catching up to Skydio's the design. So if they do that, that'd be perfect for fucking follow me. Something like that.
I think it's interesting. I mean, I've always wanted to do something a little more autonomous with a Cinewoop, and it's interesting to see more autonomous Cinewoop. I've never tried to set one up. DJI is not compatible with DJI. That's well, it's just interesting. So this wasn't the rumor. This was the Avatar or whatever the hell they're Avatar, whatever the hell. This is the rumor. This is the Avatar. But then there was obviously the DJI V3 thing as well. So this is, like I said, this is an interesting time. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what actually does come out over the next year.
So I don't know. Everybody's mad.
I'm like John. I got my popcorn.
That's the thing. I don't know why everybody's mad.
That's my point before. I don't understand. People should just be happy that this technology is getting to the point where you have multiple new platforms coming out.
Like I said, I mean, nobody wants to have buyer's remorse. I mean, that's just, let's be honest. If I would have bought DJI the week before, I'd be like, God damn it. I would have had serious buyer's remorse. Maybe there's a lot of that going on.
If I invested heavily into it, I could
I'm sure there's a bit of that for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at it this way. Now is no different than any other time. I mean, the same goes for when the HDO2s came out. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, I just bought the other goggles. Or when digital just came out, I just bought the HDOs and I could have went digital. It applies. The technology will always advance, bro. And if you're unfortunate enough where you buy something at the cusp of a transition, it's what it is. And you know what? 6 months, a year from now, it could be like, oh man, I bought the new
just want to be mad and shit. That's just, there is a certain amount of that too. But I hate to say it, but there is a lot of fanboyism going on in general on all sides of the fence, and it's gotten a little. Like I said, this situation has created a lot of division, and it really sucks. It's gotten really toxic. But RISKO says he's all in on Walk Snail, and I'll tell you the one thing, and the reason I think Ilbro said earlier he was going to keep his DJI for professional stuff. As far as I know, the Walk Snail has got a USB-C out with no strings attached. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you have to do to get that video out of the Walk Snail Fat Shark thing. So this should work great for professional use. And to be quite honest, if it's the best system for that shit, I'm all over it too, man. Yeah, I'm all over it.
I mean, the form factor of the goggles alone makes me want to just sell my fucking shit, my digital shit, and switch over to that, because I'm not heavily invested into DJI. I have one working air unit and the rest of my shit is all analog. So if I were to make a switch, it wouldn't really be it would be a no-brainer for me to go get that system.
No, what'd be kind of cool though is that if it does drop, if some retarded way your current units, Vestas air units, will work with that system, which I doubt it, but it'll be promising if they actually were compatible. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will hold out if they've got a heavy DJI investment. I think a lot of people will hold out.
He has 10 Vistas.
It is a drag, though. I mean, look, I hate to say it, though, but we've been saying it for a long time. Like, that is DJI's way, though. They discontinue shit, and they drop it. And so, like, you know, there's that. It's always been on our radar that is a possibility that they might come up with the V3 and make the old stuff incompatible. They do it all the time with their gimbals and all their other shit. It is what it is. That is DJI's thing. If you got your enjoyment out of it and you felt like you got your money's worth, fucking rock out, man. Like, you know what I mean? And run it into the ground. Like I said, that's why I'm saying that with analog, I would just run that into the ground and not update until this shit calms down a little bit. You know, this whole situation kind of gets a little more solid. I'll probably sell my DJI stuff and sit on the money until I figure out what I'm going to do next.
Yeah, no, that's a mistake for me. Sitting on money doesn't work like that for me. I'll fucking end up buying a new quad.
Well, it's one of those things, like, I don't know, it's tough. When I sell the DJI goggles, I need to think about flipping into a replacement.
I will,
you know what
I
mean?
will only sell my DJI goggles if I know 100% that I'm pulling the trigger on a purchase the very next day or after I sell those goggles. It is. So that's the kind of the tightrope walk, right? Because if you wait too long, they may go down in price. Or if DJI actually did discontinue them, I'm not saying they are, but there's
fire sale.
There's murmuring. Well, I think you're gonna see a fire sale regardless. But you're gonna see a fire sale just because there's new goggles coming. That's just
if you decide to sell it, bro. Best I can give you is $2.50.
$2.50. But $2.50. It is a tightrope box. Like, if you sell it too late, it might go down. If they did happen to discontinue it, the price might plummet. You know what I mean? It may not. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But I would expect it to go down. If it gets discontinued.
The only flip side of it is, let's say they discontinue the goggles, right? Now, question is though, let's say they don't discontinue the air unit, but since Caddx, I'm sure myself, I think I found the answer. If Caddx decides to build the Vistas, but then that's supplied by DJI, so that leaves people that have the system looking for replacements will start getting scarce. So. Well, that's the other argument.
There is that too. It's like when replacements get scarce, then sometimes then you get the opposite effect, and things go through the roof. You know, the price goes way up. So maybe the move is to hold on to your DJI stuff until the price goes up. If that's what you want to do, I don't know. But
the best I could do is $5. $5. Ultimate price, $5. Give you $5 for your goggle, not $2.50. $5.
Well, at the
end soul food here.
No food here, $5.
Maybe some people are hot that Fat Shark dropped HDZERO. I don't know. I agree with what Drone Droid's saying. Is right now the closest we have to analog and digital in terms of broadcast and stuff is HDZERO. Oh, look, it's a pilot of the week showed up. What's up, Rhett?
Dude.
Pilot of the week. Congratulations.
He gets rubber tortilla.
With hummus. I think it's funny though, because the analog holdout guys are fucking laughing their heads off right now. They really are. Like, because this is a shit show. It really is. It's become a shit show.
Oh man, I saw that shit start happening. I was just like, I got out the house. I'm gonna go fly.
I stopped watching after Friday. I paid attention like the first couple days, and then when it started getting ugly, I just turned it off, man.
It quieted down for
after I saw Drew make that comment.
My first reaction to the goggles were, "Oh, sick, new goggles."
Yeah, exactly.
Like no amount of
it was like just immediate speculation and
first thing I said was I'm coming on a chat because there's new shit happening and I'm out of the loop. I'm coming on a chat. I need the experts to tell me some shit.
Man, I just I checked in on one of the posts today just to see if there was anything new, and it was just fucking people yelling at each other.
Yeah, yelling at each other, bro. Yelling.
Fuck this, dude.
you literally, my thumb got tired from scrolling. It's like,
No, I didn't make it that far. My thumb didn't get tired. I closed it. I just closed it and went on about my day.
I think like one conversation was like 300 posts.
I was like,
you know, it's funny. You see, Chad. You see what you just said. How the analog guys that held that are laughing their asses off.
They are to some degree.
The truth is,
giggling.
The analog guys that are still flying analog truly fly just because they love to fly, and they're not looking to upgrade. They love. They're happy. They're content,
some people aren't.
Just love what they do. You know.
Some people, and I maybe the hype chaser is the wrong word, but some people aren't. Don't have to have the latest greatest thing. They can sit for a while. I can do that.
I can see just fine with my analog. I mean, I love the quality of my DJI goggles. But
I just don't like to keep having to rebuy shit.
I don't really need to see that much better. The only thing that I would say I really get a benefit of with DJI goggles is being able to spot a gap from further away and know confidently that it's there. But that only
so actually, I want to ask a question. Anybody who like, there's been some people that are really diehard. I don't know if Bubby and those guys are still here. They maybe probably aren't. But so what all the 4.3 guys? What about the 4.3 16.9 thing? Because I thought all the DJI guys love the 4.3 thing, which I appreciate it. Like, it's good. I use it for freestyle. But I think the Fat Sharks have 69 screens. No.
Yes.
So what's up with that? How do you guys feel about that part? I'm just asking the question. Like, does anybody have any feelings on that? Has that affected you or not?
I think that's going to have a lot to do with the pilot's style of flying. You know, your style of flying is going to have a lot to do with if you want the vertical view as opposed to the wide view.
Well, I mean, if the screens are 69, you know, really
I also think most
you're losing the vertical view at 69. You have to be.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is, I feel like people adjust. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just new. Okay, this is just the new reality.
It's adjustment.
You have to. You also have to ask the question for those that fly 4.3 digital versus 16 digital. How long have you been flying? You got to ask the question to those pilots, and you got to ask them, have you seen any significant difference? We all know a different point of views between 16.9 and 4.3. But you have to ask those questions, and a lot of the pilots that do fly DJI, I'm not saying for the ones who've been flying it from day one or been flying enough. A lot of the pilots fly once in a blue moon, or they fly on the weekends. It's the very extremely casual flyers that haven't been in the hobby long enough to justify giving an actual direct answer to that. To them, it flies the same, you know, or it looks the same.
Casual flyer really wouldn't notice, no.
No, and that's the problem with that with those.
Well, I'm kind of just addressing. That's what I'm asking, and I get maybe nobody's left in the chat that actually tried it. I'm just really curious, like, how does the 69 screens feel, and then the actual just screen size of these new OLEDs.
Imagine if it's a 16:9 camera and a 16:9 goggle.
Shit,
it wouldn't
Kyle's
really be that big of a deal once you're, using the system for a couple days. You're probably going to adjust your flying or your behaviors or whatever your adjustment that you need to make it not make a difference anymore.
Well, like,
focus on what you are flying.
RISKO, you're a 4.3 guy? Like, I use 4.3 mode, like I said, when I freestyle.
Of course, same.
Yeah, right.
I used to be a diehard.
I'm curious though. I really want to know about the fucking screens because, like, like I said, like most, and I did it as well. I mean, most of us scale the DJI down a little bit just to make it a little less big because the screen is really screens are really big in the DJI.
I hate it.
And well, I mean, you can scale it down, so you can make it.
I flew my friends and he has it stuck on wide. I'm just like, dude, how can you fly this shit?
But I'm curious, like. For cinematic, 16.9 is for sure, but for I like 4.3 for freestyle. But yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I've not heard anybody really have a comment about that part of it, and I'm curious about that personally. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, does it
Not
feel
really
funky?
getting much more left and right spagoos on 16.9.
I want a 101 or a 6 by 9 stuff.
I can sit
9 by 16.
We can sit down and do aspect ratio calculations if you really want to, but
oh god, these people are gonna get confused. They don't want to hear about that. They'll be like, "What? What's the aspect ratio? What's an ass?" Oh yeah, that's
I would really like to try some 16:9 goggles because I fly the HD3s and that are 4x3, and I find myself having to look up in my goggles like to see if I have an OSD element at the top, like my video signal, or look down to see my battery level or something.
So tall.
It's just the field of view on those goggles are enormous. I have a set myself, and when I got the HDLs, which are smaller and they're 4x3s, you see a lot different. But adding to what Greg tells you, when you have a screen that close to your head, right, you're looking around not only for what you're viewing, but also, like you mentioned, your OSD. So you got to think into consideration how big the screen is towards your eyes. Like some people love those big ass screens like that. I'm just like, that's just too much.
That's like having a 43-inch computer monitor sitting on your desk trying to play Call of Duty. Like you're going to get better performance on a 27 or 24-inch screen because you don't have to go like this to see the dude.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I really do like it from a flying perspective.
Well, I mean,
if I'm not trying to look at my OSD, like
it's just,
then it seems like I see more.
Well, that's what you want, a smaller field of view.
The distance of the screens from your eyes is a huge factor. You know what I mean? It's like that focus distance is a huge thing. It's like sitting too close to. It's like sitting in the front row of a movie theater. Nobody wants to do that, right? So with that's what the DJI was fucking kind of like at full scale. So a lot of people just scaled it down. But with
I'm gonna add to like the Orcas. They released the 533 edition ones, and Trevor made exactly the same point that I've been saying forever.
Good night, forevermore.
The good night forevermore. They went with a smaller field of view, so that's the difference between the white ones and the Orcas and the regular ones that we know about. Their field of view is a lot smaller. He made the point that I just mentioned. They're focusing on where they're flying, so they just want to look straight ahead at the whole entire time. So when you have a field of view, let's say like 56, something like that, like the HD3s, or I forgot how big the DJI's eyes are, you can't focus exactly where you're flying because you're busy looking at everything else around you, plus your OSD. You know, and what people don't realize that psychologically your eyes get fatigued from doing that so often. If you're doing this a lot with your eyes eventually get exhausted and tired, so you can't fly as long.
Yeah, your eye fatigue. You know? Your eyes will fatigue if it's not optimal.
Yeah, if you're doing this a lot, your eyes do fatigue after a while. That's why, like, I know people people ask me back in the days, and adding to what Greg said, I have friends that fly they play video games with like 50, 60, 70-inch TVs, and I'm here with a 27-inch TV, and I can play for fucking 12, 14 hours long because I am not doing this as I'm playing games. I'm literally like tunnel visioning myself right to the screen, and I don't see anything else but the screen. So that's just my argument towards that. I think to me, field of view is a little bit more important than aspect ratio, with the exception, like Chad mentioned, if you want to use it for.
I would agree with that.
With more cinematic versus seeing exactly where you're going.
Because there's a cutoff point where shit just gets too small. Like my Dom V3s that I have that I'll never use again. It's like looking at a postage stamp when flying through that thing.
Oh my god, my friend had a Attitude V3.
Well, a 4:3 screen will ultimately, you'll get more. You know, if the horizontal width is 1-for-1, a 4:3 screen is going to give you more diagonally, right? So you're going to get more, and then ultimately more top and bottom as well. But so it's, you know, I'm just curious because what is the new fat check? Is it was it 46? Is that the field of view on those?
I believe it's 46. I think it's a hair bigger than the HDOs.
Right on. So if you have 1-for-1 on a 16.9 versus a 4.3, and then what was the fucking DJIs? Does it mean off the top of your head what the field of view in DJI is?
I look it up online. I gotta get on the interwebs.
I'm just curious now. I'm just like thinking.
DJIs?
Yeah, I'm just curious like what the current V2 field of view is.
Right now, let's let everybody knows the answer.
Bro, I think the Dom 3s were like 30 something, weren't they? Like the field of view on the Dom 3s was like 30 something. Oh my god,
it's the Dom V3s. Yeah, they were like 32.
Field of view is 30 to 54.
I'm muted. I didn't realize I was muted.
30 to 54. Is that because of the scaler? Is that how they're?
Yeah.
54 is max. So you have 54 wide.
And that's too big in my opinion.
Well, no. All right. So you have 54 wide versus 46 wide.
Yeah.
On a 16.9 versus a 4.3, you're losing a lot of vertical height. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Sitting in the hallway outside of the theaters with drone joystick.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. I can't.
Like IMAX.
Yeah, I'm curious. I can't wait to try these things. Actually, to be honest, I just want to see how the field of view really looks.
I know. I had the V3s, and I like them. Okay.
I imagine that they're going to be great. To be honest,
hmm?
The system's probably going to be fucking pretty good.
A lot
of people are like, and I think it's too early. A lot of people were knocking because of the stuttering and shit. I'm like, dude, it's too fucking early. They're just showing it off.
They were recording that shit through a fucking capture, through firmware that isn't fully fleshed out.
Yeah, it's totally fucking too early, man. To really
Unless you were in the goggles yourself, I don't really want to hear anybody's opinion on stuttering and shit.
They said there was a little bit, like I think Josh mentioned a little bit of stuttering and stuff, but but again, it's not finished. Yeah, it's not even finished. It's too early to be judging it on that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
We'll probably get a stable release or a beta version when it comes out. They're running on fucking...
Dude, even if it releases, it has a little bit of that. As long as they fix it,
DJI goggles have some stutters here and there.
Yeah, and the resolution wasn't that as good until they did an update firmware. Remember that when the DJIs first came out, people was like, "Oh, it looks good," but then people complain about the stutters, and they released a firmware that fixed that issue.
So why release a goggle if it's not finished? Well, look, you can announce a goggle. I think announcing even if the goggle isn't completely like firmware 100%, you can announce the fucking thing.
Yeah, the hardware is done.
I think if you know your team can deliver the firmware, as needed on time, and you feel like it's in a place, the other thing, maybe the firmware that we got to see is not even the latest shit they got cooking up in the lab right now, which I would expect, So I mean,
it's the same thing in the video game industry. How many times you see a game pre-order now for this game that hasn't even been half fucking finished?
Their logic is this, though. You got to realize that the hardware is complete. That's the important thing. They got to show everybody the goggles.
Yeah.
See the form factor. You see what they look like. You see what they're capable of to a point. But the hardware is going to be the same. You know the goggle that you're getting now. The firmware is something that they could update and fix anytime. So they said it's 2 months before they release the goggle. That's more than ample of time for them.
Well, the firmware wasn't ready for the actual reveal of the hardware, and that's like I said. I don't think you can totally judge. Like there's some things not working yet and whatever, and they'll turn it on, man. It's code. They just gotta, they've got time.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at example. I'll give example, and it's still in the it's still in the FPV community. Look at when TBS released the Tango and they released the Mamba. They didn't have an OpenTX, so what they did, they forked the version of it. They came out with Freedom TX just to have the unit out there. Nobody really bitched about that at all, and it was glitchy. So we're kind of on the same page.
Glitchy stuff tends to happen. It happens with beta flight. It happens with everything. It's but
to the beast.
I would just say this: if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a manufacturer, it's like if my hardware is solid and the firmware looks like it's on track. And I think that I can meet a deadline. My team can meet the deadline to have the firmware where it needs to be acceptable, for a release. I would announce the product. Fuck yeah. And if I had a beta version of the firmware and I could get a couple of versions of it out there for people to start checking it out and give me feedback, fuck yeah, let's go. That's what the guys are fortunate to be able to do. Like they're getting to test it and hopefully give them good feedback, and so. They're helping get it ready for when it actually starts shipping. Maybe you'll have to download an update once you get it. Day one patches are
bad publicity, bro.
And that was something I was meaning to make that point too. Like in all of this, all this shit, man. I gotta be honest. There's no such thing as bad publicity, and everybody's talking about these fucking goggles. At least to some degree. And so mission accomplished for right or wrong. If you don't like the way they did it, like I said, I'm not trying to take sides, man. Everybody makes mistakes, right? I'm just like, for me, and if somebody asks me and they're like, should I buy these DJI stuff? I'd be like, it's up to you. For me personally, I'm going to wait and see how it all pans out. We give it a couple extra months before I make a new plunge. I just got the DJI goggles not that long ago, man. I don't want to keep changing, but thankfully I didn't.
I made too, man.
I didn't get too deep, so that would be my advice to somebody if they ask. I'm not going to say no, that's not good. It looks great, man. That looks great too. I might wait a minute and just see what really makes sense. Or really,
it's a mistake that I made with the shock bite. I bought it second.
You bought it early.
I got it early.
And maybe that's I'm sorry.
It was very glitchy, but it's better off.
It was glitchy.
To avoid the headache because in the end, there's going to be those pilots that jump on it. Obviously, you're going to get a ton of people that are going to buy those goggles, and it's going to have its issues. But you know what? Waiting now, I mean, I'm flying long enough now to know that patience is better, because you're better off just waiting and avoiding a headache and trying to figure out what's what, looking for updates and trying to figure out how to make things work. Let everybody else do that, you know, and then once things are, you know, shaped up where it's a workable system, where it's reliable and it's something that you're going to enjoy, when you just buy it, program it, throw it in the quad, and put the goggles on your head and fly. That's what I'm looking for at this point.
And again, I didn't have a dog in the game, and I think, I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of people are mad at Fat Shark because of the way they handled Shark Bite.
Presentation.
No, well, just the way they were, you know, look, they realized it wasn't working for them, whatever, they moved on. I mean, sometimes that happens, but a lot of people were really invested in Shark Bite as Fat Shark, right? And
how bad was it when it came out? Like, what the Bifrost, like,
yeah, well, the Bifrost, like, dude, people, that was a thing. I think that's why people were upset, is because people kind of got sold this bill of, you know, if you invest in this beta product, which, let's be honest, fucking, yeah, Shark Bite or Bifrost was beta as fuck, right?
Alpha, bro. That was
alpha. Fat Shark released that was definitely an unfinished product at the time. There was no question. Like, it wasn't.
When I bought it, it was.
But they did say they sold it as that to some degree. They said, this is a beta product, you're buying and helping to pay for the development of it, and it's going to get better, and blah 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 blah. And then what happened? But then it got dropped, and I think it's that burned a lot of people, and I think that's part of the fucking animosity, just to putting that out there. I mean, I know that if I was heavily invested in it, I'd be pissed. Kind of natural, man. I mean, you know, like, if I would have invested in it, because I was told that this beta thing was going to get turned into something, and then it got dropped. Now, thankfully, Carl picked it up and was able to make it into HDZERO. But what if that hadn't happened? What if that hadn't happened?
Forgot it. Yeah.
Still be everybody rocking DJI right now.
Paperweight.
Well, just people be mad.
The same thing's going to happen with DJI if they completely abandon all of their stuff.
DJI does that all the time, though, bro. You know? I mean, look at the Ronins. Look at all the olds, like all the drones. They do it all the time. Like, all the gimbals. Like, I have a gimbal that is discontinued, you know what I mean, and it isn't that old, you know, and it kind of sucks because, like, some of the parts I wanted to get are either unavailable or through the roof, you know, and it's annoying. And then there's just, like, the software support and whatever, you know, they just, because the problem is DJI tends to just, even though there'll be bugs lingering that they promise to fix, and they'll just drop it and never fix anything. It just gets discontinued, axed, firmware development is done, and it's a wrap, and that's what pisses people off. You know what I mean? It's just like I love to buy something like, I'm going to use Blackmagic cameras as an example. People that bought a Blackmagic 4K fucking years ago when it came out are still getting firmware updates today for free, for no added nothing. You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of companies that I want to support, personally. And that's kind of why I've always been gun shy with DJI, personally.
I'm gonna give you example. I did DJI. I mean, I'm in bed with them because I have an Action 2. So when the Action 2 was dropped, they were supposed to release two versions of it, right? The one with the screen, one without the screen with the bigger battery. Where's the one with the bigger battery? Doesn't exist. You can't even buy the bottom module. That's strike one. People complain about the overheating issues because, again, people bought them thinking is a GoPro, you can use it indoors. The Action 2 is exactly what it's supposed to be used outdoors. So what did DJI do? They released a firmware update, and all the firmware update really does is actually enables, it has a magnetic sensor on the top of the screen, and they send you a free screen, a free cover, and then that cover enables a different setting on it, so it mitigates the overheating. And they haven't, and as of that date, they haven't released anything for it. It's just dead in the water. It is what it is. Oh, videos! I haven't seen one of those in a minute.
All right, boys. I downed a half a bottle of NyQuil. I'm falling asleep.
This guy, I can't forget he drinks one. Talk about he's on that lean.
You know, it is too. I've still got my furniture in, so this whole time I've been standing up. I have my computer on my kitchen bar area. I've been standing for 2 hours now.
Ouch. All right, brother.
But it was a pleasure to see you guys as always, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
Thank you for coming in again.
Yeah, love you guys, man. Yeah, I'll pop in soon.
Good to see you, Cement. Much love, homie.
Take it easy, brother.
Take care of yourself, brother. Mad love.
Meant to fly.
Pussy's pleasure.
When I'm headed down your way.
Yeah, bro. Hit me up, definitely. Send me a DM on on Discord, so I'll see it.
Slide a DM.
Yeah. All right, boys. Chat, love you. So love you guys. Chat, nice to see you all, bro. And catch you guys very soon.
Chicken grease.
Good seeing you, homie.
Night,
Mad love. Great
Bye.
night. Bye. Oh, we didn't show the VTX. That VTX looks pretty good, though. I'm not gonna lie, the Fat Shark VTX, that thing looks pretty good.
It's a render. I want to see an actual product. Have you actual product? The one I see only be renders.
I think it's diversity about the same size as a Shark Bite or HDZERO 1 watt, but it's diversity and it looks good.
Onboard memory supposedly has.
I didn't catch that detail, but the form factor looks pretty solid. And it had lockdowns for both the UFL connectors for the antennas, for the diversity antennas. That's good shit right there. That's good shit. Like, I like the design of it.
Let's see. We'll know when is out.
So what do you guys in the chat think? Do you guys have a pick yet? Are you guys gonna stay? I know Dart said he's gonna stay with DJI. Is anybody gonna make the jump into Shark Bite with the new goggles? You gonna wait? You gonna get the new Fat Shark? What y'all doing?
I'm gonna run the Potato
Bite.
HD. That's what I'm gonna run.
Or are you gonna sit it out like me and just talk shit? I'm not talking shit, but I have a certain amount of sarcasm that comes along with the package, so you have to take it.
Face is sarcastic. Oh.
I would like to try the new CADX Shark Snail Riot.
You want to try the new Fat Shark thing? Yeah? Or whatever it is. That new thing?
I would love to try it. I just know it's going to be at least a year before I hop onto anything like that.
Hashtag walk shark. That's
Walk shark?
Yeah,
I like
it's a land shark.
The fucking meme the one meme I saw is like, it's like walk snail. I'm gonna wait for run snail. It's like what the fuck? I thought that was funny.
Speaking about run, I checked that out. It looks like RunCam is jumping into HDZERO. There is a nano whoop camera that's coming out from RunCam. They're releasing with a camera called.
Oh, I forgot about that thing. Yeah,
I got you, brother. So basically, they call it the RunCam Atom. So it's the same as a nano camera, but instead of being a square camera, it's gonna be round. It actually is gonna be a whoop board, so it'll be nice for those guys that run 1S.
Dude, I hope they put an SD slot on the
The image I saw didn't
Shark
have
Snail
any slot. Oh yeah.
I hope they put an SD card on that VTX. That would be dope.
Artie, you still alive, brother?
Drone Droid said he is gonna wait for the HDZERO fixed latency. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the latency numbers ultimately pan out, but it didn't seem like anybody felt it from the initial impressions.
Yeah, to be honest, the HDZERO goggles, I'm leaning more towards HDZERO just for the fact that I can just pop my fucking TBS module in there, fly all my analog quads with my T-Rex on a nice 1080p fucking OLED screen. I mean, that sounds a little bit more appealing than not being able to do that.
Yeah, that's the biggest deal breaker, I think, for me too, is not being able to drop an analog module. I want to throw my Fusion in there and fly my Tiny Webs.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, because not everything has to be in HD.
I mean, I still plan on fucking using my existing analog hardware. I don't, even if I switch to digital, I still plan on at times throwing my fucking TBS Unifies in there just as a quick fucking quad for cheap fucking access, just as another quad in my fleet, and go out and fly. Like,
well, the
enjoyment of flight, it overweighs what I'm actually looking out with.
And to ride along with other analog pilots.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the broadcast mode is definitely appealing. And the reality is, too, is, the HDZERO has HDMI out. The thing I like about the Shark Bite is it is USB-C, so you don't need a capture card to get it into a computer. You can plug your goggle directly into the computer via USB-C and capture video, which that's nice. Whereas the HDZERO, you got to use an HDMI to capture card to get it into a computer. Until or unless you're using the 2.4 wireless streaming module. We'll have to see what that's about when that gets closer. But that's, for me, that's where it's at though. Wireless streaming is pretty appealing. That's a pretty appealing thing. And Orca is supposed to have that as well.
They have the capacity for it though too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Orca's future-proof their hardware. Because even after the fact, they mentioned that they discontinued they're still gonna support it. So that's kind of cool. The only problem with Orca is they're kind of on the low. Like they release a product or an update and just be like, pss, pss, here it is.
Orca seems to be pretty good on their update sides, but as far as their product, getting it out and in hand, they're slow, and they've been notoriously slow. This chip shortage shit, it also hurt everybody, man. I mean, it's hurt camera. There's a lot of camera gear that's hard to get right now because of the chip shortage.
Hurts everybody. Car industries, electronic industry, computer industries. Look at the chipset computers. I mean,
how many times a day, every day at work I get, are you guys going out of business? No, we're not.
Because you don't have any inventory?
Yeah. Especially for cameras. It's funny when anybody comes in looking for a camera, I'm like, yeah, I don't have anything. They're like, what do you mean you don't have anything? How can you sell cameras if you don't have them? Like, I can order them.
Well,
don't have them here. Sorry.
A lot of things for like I said, accessories for all kinds of cameras it's all coming soon, man. It's crazy. Really crazy.
There's a lot of vaporware adding to what it is. Sometimes it's vaporware. Companies do that all the time. What was that?
Yeah, it's true. Darts. They've definitely said something about digital from pretty much day one, but they definitely dropped the ball in the V1 release. There's no doubt about that, and they admitted it them damn selves. They
broke new territory with their ability to live stream from the goggles to your phone on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yes. and that's the one thing that unfortunately isn't in the Fat Shark. And so if that's important,
as we know,
as far as we know thus far, yeah, that's not an announced feature as of today. Maybe they can add something later. I was building a thing where you could use a Raspberry Pi and use it. You can get a fucking converter. Use a Raspberry Pi and fucking use that as a output, kind of an agnostic output.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before we see more solutions.
Get it? You get it? King Lumber said lumber went up 400%. Chip shortage.
Yeah. Chip. Wood chip shortage.
Just waka waka.
Those chips made of wood?
I'm just glad to see fucking GPUs starting to come back around a bit and shit like that. Fucking that shit was out of control, man.
Seriously.
That shit was out of fucking control.
Well, how much of it has gone down? I haven't even looked at the prices of it.
Oh, the prices haven't gone down. There's just stock.
Oh, okay.
Not enough.
And you know what's really gonna be fucked up? That once the chip shortage goes away, those prices are not.
Man, every time I bought a fucking GPU, it's always been for more than MSRP. I remember when I bought my second 1080 Ti back in the day, it was so expensive from what retail should have been. It sucked. But I needed it, so I bought it.
I think I spent $700 for my GTX 1080.
Dude, when I built my editing rig back in the day, I was using it for work. I mean, I spent $3,000 on 2 cards. It hurt. It fucking hurt.
There aren't any TV shows about motorcycle cops anymore. Chip shortage.
Was it damn it.
Oh, RISKO. So RISKO, did you hear my comment about the 4.3 or lack thereof in the new walk snail Fat Shark thing? I'm wondering what people are thinking about that, or if that really matters. I'm just curious because I hate to say it, the DJI fanboys were adamant about 4.3. That was a thing. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's just a preference on just the general pilots. It's just 4.3. It's just maybe because that's just been around longer. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
No, because sometimes it's what they're being fed. Sometimes people think like that. People go up on.
I don't know. I started on 16.9 and then I switched to 4.3, and I ended up liking it more for specific reasons and liking it less for others. So
right. Well,
I used to be a 69 palette exclusively, and then when I had no choice but to switch over to 4.3.
I love the fact you could switch it. Like, that was amazing. Like I said, for cinematic, like going from cinematic flying to freestyle and being able to switch it, that's awesome. You know.
Well, for me, when I was flying 16:9, I mean, I've been using the Ratel since it first dropped, but I was using the before that I was using the SRD2, which is the ugly cousin of the Ratel. That's actually a good camera, but that camera I had it with a 1.6. The lowest you can go is 1.8, and that's everything across the border. So when I switched over to 4.3 goggles and using a 16:9 camera with a 1.66 lens, just looked obnoxiously fisheye. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Risco, is that right? Are the screens actually 16:9 screens? I don't think they are, because they are letterboxing top and bottom to give you the 16:9 aspect ratio. That's why you lose vertical field of view. It's a 4.3 screen that they crop top and bottom to give you 16:9. Whereas if you have a 16:9 screen, you have to crop left and right when you're running, or you get left and right crop when you're running your camera in 4.3. If that makes sense. The panels themselves, because the panels themselves are different. You know what I mean? Like, you can get 16:9 panels, or you can get 4.3 panels, and that cropping for the different aspect ratio. That's why some 4.3 TVs, when you watch a 16:9 movie on it, you get top to bottom letterbox, right? But if you watch a 16:9, if you're on a HD TV and you watch a 4.3 movie, you get left and right letterbox. Like the Justice League movie, he put it out in 4.3, and it had crop on the sides.
People flipped out about that.
Yeah, but that's my whole point. That's what I'm curious about. Like, I'm really curious about that.
One thing I forgot about too, and I don't know, I apologize if you guys already talked about it while I was up earlier and away from my computer, but the DJI V2s were just rooted recently. So like, what kind of cool stuff is the open source GitHub community going to do with that? That'd be pretty neat to see what's coming down the pipe.
Well, some of the speculators. Well, that's why some people were speculating that there was like some cloning or shady shit going on, is because like the DJI thing gets rooted, and then all of a sudden there's a new system that's basically DJI, like, you know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of people are like, bug it, you know what I mean? They're like questioning it.
Yeah, but like people were talking about, somebody was talking about like they ported like Doom over to it or something like that.
Yeah. That's cool.
But like, I want to see, like, you know, if they can get the canvas mode stuff working, or if they can get, you know, do some other cool stuff with it. Like, who knows? I don't know.
Well, apparently the canvas mode is pretty much working with the Fat Shark as far as like the OSD. I think it's working.
Yeah, they had it working in the demos
yeah.
that they showed. I mean, it froze at one point because like, it's beta or alpha, but I mean, they had it working. It was showing all the Betaflight OSD on it.
Which is rad, and that's something that, you know. Well, and again, like, and that's I think again where another point of the speculation or questioning came from is that, you know, DJI was saying, or Cadix was saying that DJI was about to get canvas mode, and then this shit came out, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? Where's the DJI canvas mode?" You know, like, I don't know. You know, I'm just commenting on the things I've witnessed in the last couple of weeks. I don't like definitively have opinions in certain regards.
Well, at the bitter end, right now we're just talking out our asses until the product is shown in the mass quantities, or somebody does a complete breakdown. Right now we're just, again, talking out our asses. Oh God, winter. Oof. Here's what is real. He won Game of Quad and there's a party and you're it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, apparently.
Okay, yeah, you're right about that, Peril. It's a community, filled with love and understanding, where everybody's treated equally.
I just
opinions are appreciated, and cats and dogs don't like each other anymore because now it's backwards. And rats are your favorite attack animal.
I mean, I think that put a couple of things out there. It's like it is kind of fun to speculate at times about what the hell's going on with stuff when you don't have the facts. It is there's a certain amount of fun to that. I think people enjoy.
What we do every week?
Yeah, really, right? But what I don't understand is the pushback on both sides, man. It's just gotten really kind of ugly, It's just like, damn, people are gonna question stuff. That's natural, and if you fucking slam them for questioning it, that's not cool either. Or that's not cool. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you slamming people for asking questions and wanting to know what they're buying? I don't understand that personally.
Especially for a non-released product. I can understand if the person is asking a question or shitting on a product that was already out there and he's talking out of his ass, but people were asking legitimate questions, and then just people got shitted on. I was like, Jesus. I don't know. I just sat there with my popcorn and butter and enjoyed the show.
Well, there's a certain amount of that as well. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, it just got a little heated over fucking people asking questions.
And I wish there was more pilots coming out the woodworks, man. A lot of these plane guys they have skills, but they don't show it. Shelby's like the only one out there that's doing shit like this.
It definitely made a hot beat. Speaking of that, have you got any heat for that video yet? Has anyone made a negative comment, Risco? I'm just curious.
Fuck, you don't get to know. I had to say it out loud the way it made sense. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, but you forgot the Puss in Boots.
Oh, man.
This is Mamba. It's gotta be Mamba.
Nah, it's Adventure FPV.
Got that nice fucking real steady go, just in full motion. No, the true haters are the people that are not in the community, because they'll just see a video like this, like, oh, that's CGI. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, back to the Shelby video, man. I watch his videos, and that makes me want to go fly.
Shelby Wall? Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's badass.
Makes me want to get a wing.
Yeah.
You have to get him. You gotta get that wing.
Is yours? What condition is yours in at the moment?
It's still together. I had to climb higher up in a tree than I've ever climbed in my life on Sunday.
Oh, you got stuck in a tree? Fuck.
How much hot glue, how much duct tape you gotta go put it back together?
It was still together. I chipped a little bit of one of the wings, hitting it with a branch,
right,
to knock it down. I was probably 35 feet up in this tree.
Holy shit!
With an 8 to 10 foot dead branch that I broke off of the tree once I got up there to reach up, standing on my tiptoes on this branch to try to knock it down.
Is it laminated or is it just plain?
No, it's just foam.
Oh,
so
you got laminated,
one of the wings a little bit, but it still flies. But yeah, it was starting to storm too. It was thundering and lightning, and I'm 35 feet up in this tree like a moron. It's dinner time. My wife's hollering at me.
I'm gonna get my quad.
I mean, I love Drone Joy's comment. It's like, we can't knock YouTube personalities for taking advantage of the drama. They're just looking for views. I mean, as clearly disclosed on our slide every week, this is the search for more clickbait, right? Fucking, that's our commentary on the whole situation. See, you have to understand where we're actually coming from here. We understand.
This video is so beautiful looking.
Well, Risco said the goggles make us all look like plonkers. It's like, I don't even know what that means, but somebody made a weird comment about how the goggles make us all look like plonkers. That's fucking funny. Risco looking for views. I mean, at least we're honest, right? We don't fucking... We're not bullshitting you.
So people just, oh god, people need to just.
And some people have opinions formed on various experiences.
On vague experiences. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I tell people all the time, I have my personal opinions of things I like and don't.
No, not vague. I'm saying various. Some people have.
Various.
You know, people have been around. Artie's been around for a long guy. He has a long time. He has a strong opinion about what he's witnessed. You know, and entitled to.
Artie's been around for a long guy, huh?
A long guy,
wow,
yeah. He loves a long guy.
Really?
No, I'm just saying, and that's what I was trying to say. It's like I've just seen a lot of shit.
BRB.
Nothing surprises me anymore. I think it's really where I'm at with it. Like none of this shit surprises me because I've just seen a lot of fucking shit in the long time that I've been part of this hobby. And the hobby world, and that's the other thing I was saying to the guys the other night. It's like every scene, man, as it gets bigger, music scene, DJ scene, camera scene, car scene, skateboard scenes, all this shit. As they get bigger, you get clicks and infighting and bullshit and drama. And it just always happens. It's a cyclical, and then it will like collapse and shrink again for a while, and it will calm down. it will start all over again. And it's cyclical behavior. And every scene I've ever been seen, it's hilarious. It seems to happen though. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it in the DJ community, the music scenes. Not always, but
it is always gonna be somebody negative.
Every scene you've seen is gonna have some fucking bullshit from time to time.
Trust me, I've been there, done that.
The vape scene, yeah.
Oh, forget about it. I have no idea. I could tell you stories, like horror stories of all the fucking toxicity in that community.
So Risco, do you think his comment meant the goggles just make us look stupid, or like as in just, you know, physically stupid, or all this drama makes us all look stupid? Because I could see both sides of that.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn.
No way, I look awesome with my goggles on. Shut up.
I love my goggles. Why do you like them? Because they're the best. As soon as I hear that comment, I want to slap the living shit out of that person.
What, I want the best?
No. Like, you know, when I ask, like, you know, I'm just like in the back of my mind, and because I know there's people like that. You know, it's like, why do you like this? It's the best. I hate that reply with a fucking passion. Why is it the best? And the other reply is because it's the best. That's an opinion.
Well, I mean, like, look, aside from the OLEDs in the goggles themselves, it's still 720 and it's actually a slower refresh rate than DJI. So is it the OLEDs make it better, but define what is the best.
That's a key word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the best? Like,
here's my retarded. When customers say that to me when I did sales, and they'll say that, and I used to never answer them correctly, and I gave them the perfect analogy. I said, so you want the best? So what's the best car in the world? And they'll say like some fancy fast car, and then I go, but wait a second, you have a family of 6. You think you could fit all those people in a Ferrari?
I'm just, like I said, I've always just, is it the right tool for the job for what I needed to do today? You know, if I need to fly and do something, I'm just flying for myself. Am I flying for a gig? Am I doing some kind of, you know, shooting? What, I don't know. It's just, what's the right type of job?
Blind as a bat. I need to get the best possible view, among other reasons. But to say this is the best because it is, because some major corporations drop something that's good, there's
the comment about the plonker. Obviously from a line of sight plane guy or something.
What I missed?
The Risco just posted it. Goggles just make you and everyone look like a plonker. A controller is as far as it needs to go. Yeah, from a line of sight plane guy out of a freaking AMA field probably said that, you know what I mean?
Well, any spectrum.
3D heli guy or something, you know? I mean, that's like, but it's not, yeah.
Like, put them on and fly a wing or a plane or, God forbid, the devil's helicopter and have fun.
I mean, from my point of view, aside from a few of the obvious little niceties, like, you know, like I said, no strings attached video out, supposedly. That's cool. I'm glad to see that. You know, like, you know, something I agree with Drew on is, like, you know, the reality is that system does give a lot of people what they've been asking for. He was like, they're trying to give you what everybody's been asking for, and that's true in my opinion. I think they are making
they gave us a button again.
Fat Shark or whoever the hell this thing is, I don't even care anymore. They are trying to give what a lot of people are asking for: easy video out, power switches, all the shit. Yeah,
Easy interface, because I think it has like 2 months. I think
the interface looks pretty cool.
Actually, you know what I like about the Fat Shark goggles? Now that you brought that attention, and I mentioned right now the button layout. So the old fashioned, you got to go left to right, and then you got to kind of feel for the volume control. On those, it's only got 2 physical buttons on the side and a jog wheel on the back.
It's very similar to the DJI. It's very similar to the DJI input system.
Makes sense. That makes sense, because you could feel that out with the Fat Shark, the regular goggles, bro. For me to find the volume on my fucking receiver, I have to search around and feel for the indentations from the volume.
Yeah, man. I don't know. But again, like I said, in terms of certain specific bests, in terms of specifics,
the DJI FPV drone is the best in the market.
The V2 technically, it can't do 1080 as it stands, but
it's the best.
I don't know if I would buy these goggles for the 1080 side of it.
But it's the best.
Nobody's flying 1080.
That wouldn't be why I would.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna want to fly 1080 because they're gonna want that 22 seconds of latency. So I mean,
but it's 1080 and it's the best because it's 1080.
I don't know.
That's some people's mentality. The
V2 goggles can do 144 hertz refresh at 720.
If I want to get really stoned and then go fly around the park really slow, I'm gonna put on that 1080 mode and I'm just gonna chill and be like, whoa.
Or a wing pilot, or a power seat guy can.
Yeah, if I'm going fucking hard on fucking freestyle, I'm gonna go the lowest latency possible.
Whose video is this right now?
What is real?
What is real?
Oh, it is what is real. Somebody in the chat was asking.
What is real? It's me. He's here. It's me. It's me. It's what's real. I already fell out. He probably fell asleep, probably.
Yep, you can click his link in the chat and give him a subscribe.
He said he was having some kind of connection problem. I don't know what's going on.
Getting interwebs.
Oh, one other cool little piece of news that I'll throw out there for the people that run DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve 18 is coming, and one of the really super sick features we were talking about before the show is that
I like it.
They have this ability. It's a cloud service. You can do a number of things. You can pay for $5 a month for cloud service, where you literally just upload your files, and then as you edit in DaVinci, it basically mirrors your project on the cloud, and your buddy could be at his house working on the same exact edit at the same exact time, and you guys will see each other's changes in real time. The other thing I didn't mention before the thing is you can buy your own server and host it in your house. They also have a box that you can just plug SSD drives into. It's just like a little network node, and you can make your own cloud server with like a fucking SSD fucking drive and plug it in, and it's like $400, and you can make your own little cloud server and put whatever drives in front of it you want. Or you can get fancy and spend $30,000 on a fancy one if you want to. But it's dope as fuck, because like you could literally, like, if you're not good at like editing or color or something and you want your buddy to help you, you guys could work on a fucking edit together in Resolve in real time over the internet. It's pretty fucking cool. So like if you want to do an edit and have Chris Teal fucking color it, he could like do that or something, or me color it, or somebody else or whatever. Like, I think that's dope. Or like, for the collaborators, like, how RISKO did the collaboration video, anybody wants to do a collaboration edit, you could totally do that together. That would be so sick.
I want to do that again. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fat, man. So like you could do like a collaboration video. Or like I was telling Artie, like if he was doing an edit and he was trying to get it done and he wanted somebody to help him with color, I could be coloring while he's editing. You know what I mean? That's fat. That's fucking dope. You don't have to be in the same house.
Country.
Yeah, that's one thing I have like zero experience with. It's color grading on DaVinci, man. It's such a huge learning curve there.
It is and it isn't. Yeah, I mean, there's certain things you can just kind of do to get yourself in a good place, and it's gonna look good. Like once you learn a couple techniques. My grading is definitely fucking, like, especially, I feel like even just in the last few months, like, my grading is just blowing up now that I'm really starting to understand shit, man. Like just, I was doing the classes today and I was doing grading in the background because, like, you're supposed to be working on stuff while they're teaching you shit. And that's one thing that's dope about it. And I was grading and using some of the techniques they were showing us, and fuck yeah, bro, it was dope. It's dope. And then just in general, like, if you learn how to use the color manage stuff, it can be really pretty easy to grade, like, overall. But it is intimidating to start, and there's a lot of shit you can do once you really get under the hood. But I don't definitively know how the cloud stuff works on Resolve, Risco, but I would expect it that you would have the free features just like normal, man. The question is what happens if your buddy, and actually this is an interesting point. So if you have the free version and you put a plugin that comes in studio, it puts up a watermark, but your buddy could be editing on the studio version and he could do the render for you and the watermark would go away because he has a studio version. I don't know exactly how all that works yet, but that's an interesting question. Container Chaos, man, I love this thing. This thing was fun. Amazing video, Will.
It's alright. I've seen better potatoes. Because I say that because you ran out of music.
Right click, hit auto cut or grade. It's not quite that easy. But
no, it doesn't work that way. Nope.
There's a few things though. Like what I want to do is I want to show you guys at some point. I've been working on it, and I'm still dialing a couple things in. But with Resolve, there's this thing called it's not even just with Resolve. In color grading, there's a thing called ACEs, right? Well, I've been learning how to grade GoPro footage in ACEs. And basically to grade ACEs, it's pretty amazing. If you shoot flat, native white balance, and you get your exposure pretty decent, you can literally go into the color tab in DaVinci. You set a node just to double check your white balance, and then you make a node with what's called an ACEs transform, and there's a profile for GoPro flat footage that you can select, and it will instantly convert it into a Rec 709 space for you for the most part, and it looks fucking good. Like, you might have to tweak your footage or your exposure a little bit, but it looks really good, and it's stupid easy to get a good looking output for the most part without getting too fancy.
I don't like being fancy because I'm a fancy bitch.
Well, when you use like real cameras like Canon or Nikons or Blackmagic or whatever, Reds, they have these same things for them, and man, you can get an acceptable grade like within a couple clicks. If the footage is shot right, you can totally get an acceptable grade within a couple clicks. It's not quite auto grade, but it's pretty fucking fast.
It's just a learning curve. For people that never use DaVinci Resolve, like any software out there, is a learning curve. I mean, like, because Chad put me down to using DaVinci, And every time I use it, I always find something new with it. Even when I'm doing something, I find the shortcuts here and there. It seems overwhelming to a lot of people that never use the software, but it's like any piece of software. It is going to be a little overwhelming. But once you understand the fundamentals of how the software works, it's all about how you make your workflow easier.
This is a 6 spot. Sorry, this is a 6 spot.
It is. Who is it flying?
Sync FPV.
Who?
Sync.
And like Sync-Wave.
Yeah.
This is a bando spot, bro. This place is fucking. This is just flying.
I thought it was Rampage for a second.
Yeah. This takes place. This is like in the mountains of Florida, I think. Don't know anything about that, right, Burr?
We got all them mountains.
Oh, the mountains. Crackheads in the corner. That's one mountain of crackheads. I mean, sorry, the meth addicts. Alligators piled up each other. Alligator Mountain. What am I missing?
So anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat was at Rampage this year? I just wonder if this is the same. They use the same basic spots they used the last two.
Yep, they use the same spots. Because I was watching Steve's video and he's actually see that the boat.
From year 1 to 2, they kind of changed it a little bit, but this was part of year 1. It just
it's the same as last year's. I mean, the year before that. This is what, the third year or second year?
This was the Multipath Mayhem. Yeah, this is the third time it's happened, Jeff. This is part of the Multipath Mayhem from the first year. But I don't know if they moved all the spots, the other spots or not.
I don't know. Only somebody that was there.
Yeah, Sync is in the UK.
Oh, it's UK bloke. Oh, okay.
He did the FPV.
Is Shelby again?
Yes.
Yes. He did the FPV mod.
Savage.
FPV mod for Skater XL, which was a pretty sick mod.
That's it. I'm getting back to flying wings again. All he needs to do is just trippy spin that because he's trying to at some level.
Well, he's got a 360 cam on this, right?
No, it's the Go 360.
I think so.
It's the go-to. Because the 360 cameras, you have to stick it up, and if that shit wick hit something, it's a wrap. At least with these, with the drags, you can print out the mount for the Instago right front next. It'll be right next to your FPV footage. I think the Instago 2 for the wings is perfect. It's a perfect form factor. It doesn't add too much weight to the front end like a GoPro or some other big camera. But this, I'm sorry to say though, if you want a wing that tracks like that, this is the wing to get. Because that thing is stable. A lot of my friends fly them, and that thing is stable as sin.
I've never seen gooey anything in my renders, King Turkey.
I've had mine screw up the renders if I'm doing it on my laptop and it's not plugged in.
Oh yeah.
Then like all of a sudden my main graphics card will power off and it'll just like
that would that would definitely not be good. What you might be seeing is if you happen to click on a studio only function, you might get a blip of the studio only watermark in a render. Maybe I don't know, but as a general, no, I've never gotten any sort of watermark or gooey anything in my renders.
What the fuck? My idol.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how much of this is 360?
That's what I've been sitting here trying to figure out. Like, what's what?
Like,
I mean, he flies like this though, because I've seen him like at builds before, but this is on a whole different level.
Yeah, some of this motion doesn't seem very wing-like to me, though. Maybe.
Yeah, he could be post turning it.
I feel like he's turning the wing, and then he's using the 360 to continue, like, do some of the rotation. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like.
No. I mean, I know he's capable of doing stuff like this, but this is like a little too much.
Well, a couple of the upward things are a little, yeah.
Little sus. Not knocking it. I mean, he's one of the very few players that can do anything with a fly wing like a fucking drone. And my friend could do it too, but he never posted anything. Fucking son of a bitch. And that's what's our example. Like, there's other players that do stuff like him, but they never post anything. When I first watched, I thought, see right here, I thought that was a quad. I'm like, yeah, he's literally early.
I know you ain't in team shorts and flip-flops land, Tech, but how are your legs like 12 shades different than your face?
Is this Brad's video? He won the.
I haven't taken enough. I haven't taken enough sun outside. That's why.
Is this Brad's Rippies win?
Yep.
Yeah, big shout out to Brad for winning the Rippies with this video.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this was dope.
Where was this at? It was when he was in Colorado?
Yeah, yeah. That's the one where I believe this is the one where him and his wife went back when they were hiking, and she had him go back so he could rip because it was so dope. He went hiking with his wife without his quad, but it was so dope, and she knew he wanted to fly, so they went back and got his quad so he could make this. I believe this is the video.
This is one of the very few times that I praise him to be in the position that he's in as far as his work is concerned, able to go to these places.
Right? That's so sick.
Authentic pizza.
He just jumps on a plane and goes. He goes, yo, you going to Colorado? No? All right, step to the side. I'll take over.
Wow.
I think I know this song. That was a particular artist that I knew about last night. No, it's not him. I thought it was him.
That would be so sketch to be drifting backwards like that for too long in a spot like this.
Oh boy, I know the whole entire time his butthole must have been beyond pucker.
No, that flick through that hole must have been a pucker moment.
That wasn't a pucker. You could stick a diamond up his ass and get cold again. That's how tight it was.
A beautiful video.
Dude, that just keeps going, man.
What the fuck? Video pause, continue watching. Piece of shit.
Now, I want to know where he was standing during all of
Yeah,
that.
right. You have to ask him.
X.
He's been talking about trying to get me out to Bando Island.
I'd love to hit that spot someday. I just want to go hang out over there and fucking chill.
Fuck that. I want to fly, bro. Fuck that. Get on a pontoon and go out there.
Rad spot. You should definitely go, man.
I'm just still pissed off though, and I still regret myself my ass because when I first started, I didn't know the goons as much as we know now, and I should have hit all of you guys up when I was over there, bro. Because all of you guys were in the same area I was in. Remember, I literally was there for a month. I only flew one day.
I'm glad I got to get out when Solo was down.
That was kind of cool. Yeah.
That's
Shout out
cool.
to Solo for that. One with the Force.
Solo.
Juan.
We had Fly and Devo and E-Rod and It's Chris and Solo.
Shout out to E-Rod, man. I miss him. I haven't seen him. I talked to him a little over a month ago or so, but
working, I think.
Yeah, I hadn't. I saw he was playing Rampage, playing his guitar at Rampage, which I thought was awesome. I'm glad he got out for that, man. That's cool.
Yeah, he and I have been trying to get together just to jam sometime and just not fly, but just play.
That'd be fucking awesome, yeah.
Oh man, he plays what, bass, right?
Guitar.
Guitar.
Okay, I thought he...
And sings.
Yeah, I would love to fucking jam.
Yeah, he does.
Fucking E-Rod.
I want to be there and be a groupie. I'll just throw you my underwears. Just be like this.
I don't think that guy was all that prepared to catch that quad.
You know that must have hit him in the chin.
One of my friends tried to land his 5-inch in his own lap.
Oh,
that didn't go well.
No.
Oh, that's no bueno.
He didn't cut him. He disarmed ahead of time, but
Man, he got disarmed.
He disarmed like 4 feet above himself, so it hit him right in the nuts after a 4-foot fall.
It's like one of my friends. One of my friends, he's always asking me, "How the fuck do you land the way you do?" I was like, "What do you mean how I land?" Because you can land like right next to your foot, but you land right on your foot. You don't land like hitting your leg. You land right on your foot and you just land smooth. I was like, dude, you just gotta practice, and I don't recommend you do it all the time because that can definitely cut your leg.
Don't do it in flip flops.
Wait, so when did you? Wait, I have to ask now, because Trinity was just texting me. When did you fucking talk to Kat about her coming over?
Oh, when did I talk to her?
Yeah. How did you work that out?
How did that happen?
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, she had messaged me. Well, I had said, I think the last time I was on the stream that I was going to be coming out to Katie.
Right.
I remember that.
Or whatever. And she had said, yeah, hit me up. I'm in Katie and whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was thinking, I knew she didn't fly, but I was thinking that her husband flew at that point. And so I had told her last week, I was like, yeah, I'll be there next week. Oh yeah, we'll have to get together. And so we just messaged each other a little bit here and there.
Right.
This week so far. And she's like, yeah, it'd be awesome to, be able to slip in on Game of Quad. I was like, totally. Like if I could broadcast like from your house, or if you could make it out to the hotel or something, like that would be so funny to have the guys waiting for you to jump in on the chat. And then you just sit down on the couch next to me. Like it'd be hilarious.
Well played. That was awesome.
That was so played.
Oh, that was Trinity?
Yeah,
that was Trinity.
I've known.
He mentioned it. He literally.
I thought that was like your wife or something.
No. He said, "Where is Trinity?" And I was like, "Let me go text her." And when I go text her, I turn around. I was like, "There she is." What the fuck?
I was about to text her, but
that's why I said something like, because we were so deep into the goggle conversation, and she's standing right here next to me, and I knew she had to leave to go home pretty soon.
That's hilarious.
And she was like pointing at her watch, and I was like, I know. And so then that's why I said, I was like, I would definitely buy those goggles and play Game of Quads.
That's fucking funny, dude. So Trinity is someone that so my friend Ryan, who's the one that actually got me into FPV, Ryan and Trinity and I were gamer friends. That's where we all know each other for years. And and Ryan I knew for fucking years and years and years. But way back in the day, Ryan and I were we were gaming, and fucking when Ryan started to get into FPV, turned me onto it, and we fucking kind of started the whole journey together. And that's where I met Kat. And then unfortunately Ryan passed away a few years ago, and that sucked. But yeah, and Trinity and I have been brother and sister ever since. So there you go.
Awesome. Shout out to Trinity again, bro.
And she's a rat as fuck and comes out and supports all us nerds and our fucking flying toys.
And she doesn't fly.
Nope.
That's the beauty of it.
And Jake,
she enjoys
her partner Jake is fucking awesome, and we get together and game together. We used to get together and game together all the time, but I haven't been able to, unfortunately, as much. But yeah, we will. We have a little gamer thing. It's fun. She's good people. I'm glad you guys got to meet. That's fucking awesome. I'm glad you got to do that. It's fucking great.
that was super cool.
That was a good surprise.
To be able to bring her in as a surprise, I thought that was neat. That was really cool.
No, that was a shock. I was like, what the fuck?
And it's hilarious because she hangs out in the fucking voice chat on Friday nights all the time too. So it's fucking awesome. Yeah, random gamer friend I've known her for years, man. It's fucking wild how the time flies. But
I'm surprised she didn't bring the baby with her, because I know she around this time she gets like a little break and then she has to go back to take care of the baby.
Yeah, I was thinking this is probably not going to work at all, because if I have to go over there to broadcast, then they've got the kids, the kids sleeping awake, like we'd be talking loud, and that just probably wouldn't work. And I didn't figure that she was gonna come over here and come to my hotel room, that would be awkward, right? Unless she brought her husband or whatever, but then they would have the kids or have to, it's
the same page
work at all. And she was like, I'm on my way, and I'm like, really?
Dude, Jake is cool as fuck. I've known Jake, like I said, known them both for ages. It's just their story's funny, but yeah, they're good people, man. I love them dearly, and it was awesome. I'm super glad that you got to do that. That made my night for sure.
Yeah, she said she's like, Chad's gonna be so jealous.
Awesome. Fucking awesome.
All right then.
All righty. Well, it is fucking 1:30 in the morning. Jesus Christ, that was a little. Our goggles.
What a mercy.
Our goggle.
Well,
Goggle debacle.
The goggle debacle, which turned into a debacle. Jesus Christ. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I love you. I love y'all. Get out there and fly. Make something cool.
Fly or lift off.
Be safe.
So I can get my quad fixed.
Hey man, and you were talking about like, I know people are saying like they don't like to do game of quad and liftoff, but people win in liftoff.
Yeah. Stick time is stick time.
Gotta bring it, man, and stick time is stick time. Yeah.
Like I started playing it last night and the night before in my hotel room since I couldn't take my 5-inch out, and I sat and played for a while, and I'm just doing the race courses, not just freestyling, but doing the races, and I'm like, this is actually making me be a lot more accurate, a lot more responsive. Like, it was nice.
A piece of news. I think they finally released the patch that allows you to fly whoops and lift off.
Oh, nice.
What?
Yeah, I think I just saw that. I think I just saw that yesterday. So
they have a whoop simulator. Why would they do that?
I don't know. They just say they released a patch for the whoops. I don't forget. Let me see if I find this.
They probably released a patch for the lift-off micro drones. Yeah.
Yeah, because that is a separate game. I like Tiny Whoop Go for that. Like, it's so much fun. When you get in there with a group of 7 other people, like it's hilarious.
The micro sim environments are badass though, bro.
Yeah.
The lift-off micro environments are fucking cool.
Are they?
Yeah, they're fucking good. They're really good. Like, I'm still getting
flashbacks when all of us, it was Pearl, John, myself, and Greg. And Greg kept getting lost. He's like, I can't find the gates. I was like, dude, it's easy. He's like, I ain't got lost.
What, in Tiny Whoop Go or?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Too many
We had
gates.
so much fun. And then we were finding like the secret rooms in the houses that Rad made. And
yes,
that was really cool.
Yeah, those are like those. If you fly and you're not thinking about it, you can never find those. Especially the one in the house. I was like, that's like deep. You would never find that shit.
I had been in both of them before, and I still couldn't remember where they were at.
Because they just blend in, especially the one like under the bed.
Yeah.
Who the fuck goes under the bed? And it's just like a little hole in the corner, but it's there.
Yeah, I remembered the one under the refrigerator, like off to the side, but I'd forgotten the entrance for the bed one.
Yeah, the bed was like the table back to the right. And
Spoiler
the other one is
alert.
like, spoiler alert. Well, but they don't know which room is it. We're just saying Rad, but Rad has a few rooms in there.
Yeah, there was like 6 different house builds, and they were all different.
Yeah, right on, King Turkey. I'll take a look and see if I see anything I can help with or pinpoint.
Yeah, I had DaVinci like completely render a video mute one time, like just out of the blue. Like everything was normal when I played it back. I had all my music and sound effects and everything else. Rendered it, and the output AVI or whatever.
There was I'm not gonna lie. There was a point where I did have a little weirdness. I think on a render where I did the same thing. It didn't actually. It didn't render the audio, but that was ages ago. It was ages ago. It would have been in 16. And sometimes, like probably early 16. I mean, like that's the thing. Like for me, so I have 2 machines. I have the machine that one I'm actually using for classes and shit. And I'll probably my old machine. It's like my original machine that I built for doing video work ages ago. And the machine still really runs DaVinci really well. It's got a pair of 980 Ti's in it. Runs DaVinci really well overall. Some of the fusion stuff will bring it to its knees, but overall, it for editing color and basic effects, it's not painful to work with. Let me just put it that way. And I'll probably update to 18 on that one pretty soon. But I have my other machine that is actually I built purely for work and has never seen any other shenanigans for the most part. That machine I have like projects on that I'm still working on, and I'm not going to update that one right away. But when they release a new version of Resolve, there's always bugs. I found a bug in 17 actually in class last week with the audio stuff specifically. It's funny you mentioned that. But there's a function, I'm always talking about people's vlogs, and I want to do a couple things. I kind of almost want to do like a video. It's like why your vlog sucks kind of vibe, because it's like, you know, because a lot of people record a vlog with their GoPro or whatever, or even their, you know, some people are using Canon M50s or whatever, but they don't match the levels of their voice compared to their music. You know what I mean? It's radically different. And, there's some functions in DaVinci. There's a you know what normalization is you know what normalization is? Well, in DaVinci you can actually set normalization levels. Like you can say, it's sick because they have two functions. One function I just learned about, but you can analyze your audio and actually get an overall what they call LUFS or loudness scale, right? Because like YouTube and all like Netflix and everybody, anywhere they have, especially where they have commercials, they give everybody a loudness measurement value to render to. So that way when people watch your movie or your video or whatever it is, when it cuts to commercial, you don't get a radical change in volume, right? So DaVinci actually has a tool to measure your audio, which is really helpful. But then there's another function where you can normalize to a certain amount as well. Well, anyways, we were talking about that in the class, and I was going through some of the shit, and I went to use the normalization function, and it didn't do shit. And I'm like, so I'm talking to one of the other instructors, like while the main instructor's teaching, I'm like, this doesn't work. And they're like, what do you mean it doesn't work? I was like, I'm telling you, I'm seeing no difference in the levels of this audio. And I was like, and trust me, I'm a fucking audio guy. I know this is one thing I know implicitly. This is not fucking working. And I figured it out. If I went into the clip itself and I had just bumped the volume of the clip inside the clip, like I actually did it on the clip, normalization worked on all the files after that. It was weird. It's just a weird bug, but there's bugs. They happen. Yeah. Like I said, I do think I rendered something one time that came up with no audio for no reason. I restarted my computer and it was fine. The big thing is though, like, yeah, with the free version, it was more, I noticed more. The problem with the free version is because it's not, for lack of a better term, since it's using a gimped render engine, I've seen more weird shit. But with Studio, I have found a couple little bugs in Studio, but my renders, once I get it all right and it actually renders, I haven't had any problems with Studio. Like the NVIDIA render or GPU-based render engine, it is really good. But the native non-one in free isn't quite as good, so...
I know I'm using the free one. I'd imagine King Turkey's probably using the free one too if he's having weird issues like that too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and that yeah, that is one downside to the free version, to be honest. It doesn't, some of the render engines aren't as good, especially the H.264 engine. It's not as good as the Studio version by a long shot. It's definitely different. And what it comes down to, since you're not GPU rendering, it's heavily dependent on your CPU. And if your CPU is getting kind of overloaded or taxed, it glitches. It glitches. It's bottom line. So yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, but
so I shouldn't have 17 tabs open in Chrome while I'm trying to...
One thing I'll recommend, actually, and one thing I'll tell you too, so one thing I'll recommend to anybody who does have a problem with a render in DaVinci, go up into the menu, go to playback, go to cache, and delete all, and then render it. Because when you're working in DaVinci and especially when you're working with transitions or effects or anything, it's going to make cache files. Sometimes if your system can't keep up, those cache files will fuck you. So what you want to do is once you're all ready to render, and especially if you have an issue, go up into the playback, go to render cache, delete all, yes, then go to render it. Go immediately and render it right after you delete it. So that way it rebuilds everything from scratch. And a lot of times that will fix little weird problems. So those are your tech tips for the night.
And if you're
good
running
luck.
the laptop, plug it in.
Touch my tip?
Well,
touch my tip.
Black spot. I mean, yeah. I don't. The only other thing, you could put a clip there with nothing. You could put a clip there with nothing, but that again, because it could be a render cache problem. So delete your render cache and then try to re-render and see if it fixes that. You could put in an empty or dummy clip if you needed to, but black space shouldn't generally be a problem. You could also take another video clip and just turn the opacity all the way down so it's black video in a black space. If it's being weird, you could literally just take any chunk of any of your video and just clip it and fill that black space, and then just turn it down, turn it to black. Take the opacity fader and turn it all the way down, and that would give you a black clip. So those are the two things you could try to fix that problem, bro. But I will take a look at your video tomorrow. I got to get up tomorrow. We got to get out of here because it's late and I got class in the morning and people got work and whatever. But we love y'all and have a great week and all that shit. It compresses it and looks like God. How do I upload my original DJI to Insta? Come back next week and let's try to figure that out. I'm not 100% sure.
Do we hear DaVinci small class next week coming up? I don't know. Just throwing a rumor out there, maybe.
Not really. I can't.
All right, then. Fuck you guys and have a good night.
Somebody else would have to run it. Anyway,
message Chad on the Discord chat, and he'll.
Yeah,
there is a.
If I'm doing a DaVinci class, it's most likely going to be in Discord because I can do that early. I can't do it late during the stream. Not currently.
My brain's hurting right now.
But yeah, y'all have a great fucking week. Send it. Don't let them grind you down.
Send it.
We love ya.
Yeah,
Johnny.
We'll leave you.
Have a great night, everyone.
We'll bookend you with RISKO once again. Be good.
Nice.
Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not.
Bye!
Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not. Oh well. Whatever issues you have with the DJI system, you can expect to have the same issues. Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not. Maybe it's DJI, maybe it's not. Oh well. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's Avatar. Maybe it's Avatar. You don't know. Maybe it's Maybe it's Avatar. Maybe it's Avatar. You don't know. Maybe it's Fat Shark. DJI's community driven. Don't get to know everything you want to know when you want to know. You guys don't get to know. That's life, dude. That's life, dude. It's tough, dude. You don't get to know everything you want to know. You aren't part of this organization. Community driven. You guys don't know everything. We will tell you everything. Community driven. No. Bardwell. It's coming. Sit tight.
You have to be so on top of the world right now.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, it's you work a long time. I thought it was actually fantastic that DJI released a pair of goggles that was we wouldn't have these systems if it wasn't for DJI. We wouldn't have vision if it wasn't for DJI. We wouldn't have these systems very close to what my vision was.
Nobody can dispute that.
I have the vision clarity. We wouldn't have their engineering if it wasn't for we wouldn't have good pair of goggles.
Nobody can dispute that.
HDZERO was an amazing system, but I love DJI. HDZERO was low latency, but I've come to appreciate link quality. Work a long time.
When digital came out, it felt like Fat Shark struggled a little bit to find its footing.
Avatar. Box there. If it wasn't for Avatar. Box there. We wouldn't have good pair of goggles.
Nobody can dispute that.
I thought it was actually fantastic that DJI released a pair of goggles that was
Bye.
Bye.